Okay, here we are again. I feel much better than I did on Wednesday. Still a little scratchy throat, but I had a lozenge before this. The only ones we had left were these honey lemon menthol ones, and they were gross, but they got the job done. Should be able to go for the 3 hours needed, given that my throat feels... I mean, it depends on how much screaming I do, I suppose, today, but I don't think I'm going to be screaming very much. This game barely ever elicits that kind of a response out of me. Oh boy. Let me grab my water, hang on. I always leave it off to the side because the space where I normally put it, right next to my feet where I'm sitting here, is where I stretch out before I start the stream, so I can't stick it there because I can't stretch out with the water bottle directly in the same spot. We can't occupy the same space. It's not made of dark matter. I don't know how that stuff works. I'm not an astrophysicist. Let's see who's here. Marie is here and Pat is here. Hello. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. Guessing the stickers will all be team members, and also you see the best doggo from Gen 9 was caught. Yeah, so that was the plan. The stickers on the thumbnail will evolve as team members are grabbed, because the one thing that might have kind of... I didn't notice it, or rather I didn't talk about it. I didn't make it explicitly visible because I didn't say anything in the first episode, is that the character that you're playing as has their dresser at home decorated with stickers. They have a Hatena sticker, they have an Applin sticker, and they have one other sticker that I can't remember off the top of my head just now, but they have their dresser decorated with stickers. And I said, you know, maybe it'd be cool to decorate the thumbnails with stickers, because I remember in like years and years ago when people would do Nuzlockes and stuff, they would put their team members in thumbnails, and I always thought that was a cool idea. I never ended up doing it myself because it just seemed like too much work. And then I was like, no, you know what? The status screen pictures for the Pokemon in this game look like stickers if you laminate them with a little white outline. So that was the thought process, and that's what we're going to do. So there we go. Always thought it was weird to keep a Pokeball on your textbook even if it's empty. I guess it's supposed to be either Miraidon's Pokeball or your starter. Probably Miraidon's Pokeball, but I would hope it's locked. I wouldn't want anybody... I guess it doesn't matter if Miraidon gets out. It's not like it's going to wander off, you know, but whatever. Ah, yes, Pokemon. The old standby. Yes, indeed. I'll say this. This is probably the longest anyone's ever lingered on this title screen in the history of forever without, like, you know, being away from keyboard or something. But one thing that I hear in the din of students as they're all getting ready for the day of classes here in the background, it's like a deeply ingrained memory for me because I used to play Little League baseball, and then I played baseball when I was a teenager a little bit as well, until I started snowboarding, and then I said, well, these are in different seasons, but also I don't want to do both, so let's figure it out, because I wanted to play tennis, actually, because I played tennis when I was younger. Long story, not the point. Anyway, I played baseball for many years as a kid, and in the din of the students, I can very distinctly hear the sound of a baseball hitting against the, like, bars of a batting cage. I don't know if anyone else heard that over time while I was stretching there, but I can very distinctly hear it, and now it makes me kind of want to go play a baseball minigame in, like, Persona 5 or Yakuza or something like that. Sadly, I have to play this instead, so I suppose I'll just have to stuff that thought process for a little while longer while we make our way to school, because I can't go to the batting cages because then I'd be truant, and as far as I'm aware, Japan has some strict policies on truancy, so let's not... I mean, I guess this is technically Pokemon Spain, but you know, there's probably similar rules on truancy. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Pokemon Violet, the stream edition. I'm meeting you back here at the Pokemon Center in Los Platos rather than up the hill where we ended last time because of a few things. One, I forgot to register my birthday after saying it like twice last time, so let's go back over here and register that before I forget. It's not going to make a difference because my birthday was before we started this playthrough. So it's month 1st, April 4, and then date 2nd, 23rd. So we won't get any celebration going on, but at the very least I'll be registered now, so I don't know. They know when it is for the future that will never happen. So excuse me. So that's the first thing. The second thing I wanted to do is actually the reason why I'm here at the Pokemon Center is because I booted the game up in between episodes. Because I thought about it and I said, yeah, no, getting a Ralts with Trace will actually be really helpful stream-wise because it'll make the process of getting a Pokemon that is critical for what I want to do in a little while a lot easier. So I actually went and looked for a Ralts with Trace, and the first one that I found was actually a male Ralts with Trace. So now we can get a Gallade. So I released the female Ralts we caught last time, and now we have a male Ralts with Trace, and that will help us find a Pokemon that, like I said, will be absolutely vital for doing something very specific that we'll be doing that will allow this playthrough to be somewhat unique compared to other playthroughs on YouTube. So, there you go. You're going to do that for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but man, graphic design is not your forte. Actually did sports. Only thing I ever tried was wrestling. It was just too much for you no matter what. Yeah, wrestling was tough. I remember my friends doing wrestling a lot as well. And it was so tough on them because they kept having to like make their weights and stuff, so they would not eat and they would not drink water, and it was not good for them. I mean, even at that age, I don't think it was good for them. So I couldn't even imagine. Like, I watched them do that stuff, and I was like, how do you guys even do that? Like, ugh. Well, I don't know. Doesn't seem good for the body. Truancy in Pokemon, impossible. The game will not proceed until I'm ready to go to the school. Thank you. Thank you for the happy late birthday. Only late by a month. That's okay. I appreciate it nonetheless. Never seen anyone use Arrokuda. Know nothing about it outside of it being a water type. I will show you. I mean, you can see it already on the summary screen, but look at its goobery face. How could I not use this little goober? It's such a silly little Pokemon. And I mean, I'm already using Natalie over here. And I mean, look at how much of a goober she is. So I don't think I had much of a choice in the matter, you know? Yes, male Ralts classic, yeah. So this will, like I said, we already used a Gardevoir in Pokemon XD, so this will let us get the other evolution, a Gallade, which we could not see in Pokemon XD because it was not introduced until Gen 4. The other thing, by the way, so this male Ralts, well, specifically this Ralts with Trace will help us find a Pokemon that will be vital for making this playthrough unique on YouTube. However, something I need to clarify, if you're using this like as a walkthrough, like this playthrough is a walkthrough and you're following along, but you're playing Pokemon Scarlet, you also want to capture a Buizel. This is also absolutely vital, and I am not even joking about that. This Buizel needs to be level 7 or higher in order for you to do what you need to do in Scarlet version specifically to make things much easier. So I brought Buizel into the team. We're going to raise him to level 7 just so that way I can show you why he's vital for something, and then we'll go from there. So basically I took Interceptor out of the team for now. We'll bring him back in a little while when his services are necessary. And I'm going to box Ralts as well because, well, first of all, I want Scatterbug to keep getting some experience so that we can at least get Spupa. I want to get Vivillon as well eventually, but we can worry about doing that later when we can gain some more experience. Or I can just bring him in once Buizel gets to level 7, so that way we can raise him alongside something else. But there's one more Pokemon I actually want to go capture, and it's over in the lake area that's back this way from Los Platos. So we're going to go this way again. And we're going to go to the lake area, and I'm going to capture something over there. I wasn't sure originally if I was going to capture, because I was thinking about, oh, there's Deerling over there now. Okay, cool. Excuse me, Hoppip, I need to catch a Deerling. They spawned. Alright, anyway. There we go. Might as well capture them while they spawned in, because they weren't spawned in last time, so... yeah, there's one more thing I want to catch over here. I wasn't sure if I was going to use it last time because I was thinking about going to catch something else instead, but at the same time I said, nah, you know what? Let's just go catch this because I think it'll be a little bit better than... It'll be a little easier to capture this than it will be to try to capture something else at the correct level and then try to raise it. Like, I would have to do a bunch of sequence breaking, basically, in order to catch the other thing. I'd have to go to an area I'm not planning on going to for quite a while, so instead of that, let's just, you know, catch the thing I'm planning on catching. It's not this Deerling, but Deerling is cool. I love me some Swazbuck. So, he is a Cooper, for sure. Be fair, still trying to find yourself and tried wrestling in high school. Glad you figured out it was too much and had to drop it. conditioning did not help. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I imagine the conditioning for it was really rough. Definitely hard on the body, so why I didn't want to do that, so. Hey, Hermie, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Am I using Smooth Brain Pokemon only? I mean, given the team members that I've got so far, I wouldn't be surprised if you thought so. I don't know yet. Well, I have a team in mind, but whether or not they're going to be Smooth Brain, we're going to have to figure that out when we get them. Gonna do the funny sequence break. Did I go past the lake? Yeah, so I didn't go to the lake area. Well, I did go over to the lake area specifically to get the Rock Blast TM and the zinc that was up on the hill there. So, but then I left. So instead of doing that, let's go over there so that we can actually pick something up. Yeah. Quick, fish slap it. Yeah, just slap it with the Aqua Jet so that it actually, I don't think Deerling gets a grass type move until like the mid-teens, so it was probably pretty safe to even leave Aerocuda in there. Sawsbuck is your all-time favorite grass-type. Hornleech is actually absurd. Hornleech is really good, yeah. Silly Croco's a goober. The Weed Cat is a shitpost. And no one remembers the fancy duck. I called him the exchange student, and it's just because, compared to the others, he just feels a little out of place to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm being hard on Quaxley. I don't know. Thanks for cheering me on. Is that a Combee? What the hell? You're not normally around here. It's a male Combee as well, so I could catch it. Do I want to catch it, though? You can't evolve male Combee, but I suppose it's not a bad thing to just catch one. Are you looking for... Oh, you're not looking for me. Okay, well, yeet. Yeah, I didn't expect to find a Combee, because normally I don't think you can find it unless you're... Well, I guess we might be near a flower patch, so that could be why it's showing up. Will Aqua Jet just KO you? Nope. Okay. I overestimated Aerocuda's power, which is okay. So. I'll catch it, why not? We can't evolve it because a male Combee cannot evolve into a Vespiquen. You have to get a female one. But, with that being said, you can catch a Vespiquen later on in the game in the overworld. There's just a static one in the overworld that you can catch instead, so I'm not really bothered. I can just release this Combee back into the wild when we capture the Queen Bee instead. Oh, your sister took the duck? Okay, yeah, I mean, I've seen people take Quaxley. I feel like out of the three, Quaxley's probably the one that gets the least attention, honestly. So, yes, it is. Just don't air. If we talk about the South Province theme when you're on foot, it's actually your favorite overworld theme from this game. Not going to use Honey Gather. Nah, Honey Gather in this one's not that great. It's just, I mean, it gets you a few Poké Dollars. Excuse me, it gets you a few Poké Dollars, but, like, am I going to need that money? No, probably not. But yeah, the theme in the South Province is really good, whether you're on foot or, well, not on foot later on. I really enjoy it. They actually have already played both versions of the theme. This one is the... I think I mistakenly said this was the nighttime theme earlier, and actually it's not the nighttime theme. This is the theme that plays when you're on foot at all times in the South Province. The one that they played on our way to Los Platos is actually the one that plays later on when you're not on foot. So we'll hear it a little bit more later on because I guess we can pull up the map so I can show you. But the South Province is actually a very large place. So, well, this is just the same thing that you've seen on every world map ever. Let me see, I want to do that. There we go. So we can lock the map app to north. So we're in the South Province currently, but this is Area 1 of the South Province. And as you can see, it goes all the way up to, well, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These numbers feel kind of arbitrary. But it goes all the way up to 6 areas of the South Province. So we'll get to hear this music quite a bit along our journey. There's other areas, obviously, as well. There's the West Province, East Province, North Province, and they've all got their own themes. But South Province gets the most attention because it's the one that's got the most areas. Well, I guess there's a Protect TM. I'll just gather a few things while I'm here and while we look for the other thing. It's down here by the lake, and actually there it is right there. So, strutting its stuff. Because it knows it's hot, you know what. Alright, go ahead. Turn your back on me. I know you know I'm here, but I am no threat to you so long as I stand still. As a matter of fact, you could probably kick my butt right now. But we'll give it a shot anyway, so... I just don't want him to go running off too fast. There we go. I hope that didn't hit Lechonk. It did not. Anybody else, like, hear Flamigo's cry and just think of the caw sound effect from Ed, Ed, and Eddie? Because that's all I can hear. The crow caws at midnight sound effect. Alright, so Flamigo is busted. It's an atrocious Pokemon. So think about it this way, if you're aware of Pokemon from Gen 6. This is as if, think about Flamigo as if they were handing you a Hawlucha within 2 hours of beginning the game. Matter of fact, if you were playing quickly, you probably could get Flamigo within 1 hour of playing the game, if not a little less. And they just hand you a Hawlucha. It's a fighting flying type. It can have the Scrappy ability, so it can even hit ghosts with its fighting type moves. It has endgame level stats. I think it has base 115 attack. It gives monstrous amounts of experience points when you defeat it in battle. And yeah, I don't know why they stuck this here, but it will come in handy for something in just a little bit. So I'll take it, I guess. So, Scatterbug, you didn't quite get to level 9 there, right? No, 23 to get you to Spewpaw. But Buizel only needs 17 to get to the move that I need it to get, so I guess I could just pull Flamigo in just a minute once I find one other thing to catch. So, yeah, it's a really good Pokemon. Like, it's nutty that they could give you something this powerful this early, honestly. Only if you want to get Fashion. They are arbitrary. Didn't notice there were numbers until a ton later. Also, Protect This Early is kind of nutty. Think could kick your chest cavity in, no lie. Yeah, Protect This Early is pretty good, though. I mean, they probably learned from... Because in Gen 8, Protect was available very early, and that was vital because of the Dynamax, like, gimmick. So it was really powerful to have, even if they gave it to you early. It's a Flamingo! It's busted! Wow. This thing is the definitive speedrun Pokemon for the few Scarlet and Violet speedrunners that still exist. And I can show you why. So it's level 6, so, well, first of all, let's look at Weasel's stats to give you an idea. And Weasel's, like, got halfway decent, like, okay, its speed is down with this nature, but think of it having, like, 15 speed, and that would be about what you'd expect for this level. Now let's look at Flamigo's stats. And I got a Fighting Terra type out of it. And I got Scrappy. The special attack boost is not necessary, but yeah, it has a minus speed nature as well, so maybe it's a little slower than Weasel, but holy man, 20 attack at this level? Are you kidding me? That's nuts. Yeah, so let's skip Weasel level 7 just so I can show you, if you're playing Scarlet, the move that you want to get for it. And once we do that, we can then... there's a TM down there. Yeah, once we do that, then we can box Weasel and grab Flamigo, and then steamroll the video game from now until a little bit from now. I'm not going to use Flamigo for the playthrough, but it is going to be useful for the one specific thing I want to do early. A bunch of Combi. Are there any female Combi among you? That one on the left is... No, it's backwards to me. I can't see it. This one's not. It's a male. Pretty sure that one I already saw was also a male. Oh, okay. You know, if you're trying to run away, you're doing a pretty poor job of it, but you'll do. You will do for my needs. I forgot you got Struggle Bug this early. Is there anything else that needs experience that's in here? I mean, I guess I could get Diglett a little bit of experience. I'll bring in Natalie. I actually don't even know if this Combi will give enough experience to get Scatterbug up to Spewpaw, but it's okay. Holy fruck. So to say, Scrappy this early is actually nutty. This thing comes with anti-ghost. You just start it. I know. And it's like, okay, well, guess it's already over. Base 115 attack, base, I think, 92 speed. And as you'll see soon enough, you can accentuate all of that by getting some really powerful items in Mesagoza. But, well, we'll talk about that when we get to Mesagoza. There could also be a different Pokemon here other than the Combi, but it looks like it's just Combi and... that's a Hoppip, right? Yeah, okay. Looks like it's just Combi. Combi will run away from you if you get too close to them, so... But that's okay. Alright, I glossed over it, but Weasel got to level 7, and it got the move Soak. This move changes a target's type to water. If you are playing Scarlet version and you are playing along with me, this move is 110% vital. It's probably not required, but it makes things a lot easier for you. Get it on Weasel. You don't have to raise it any further than this. Or alternatively, if you want to get it on a Pokemon that's actually somewhat viable, you could also get a Wingull and evolve it into a Pelipper, because you can then have Pelipper remember the move Soak, which it gets at level 1. But both of those will be very important. I am not even joking. I wish I was. It sounds like a meme, but it's actually a mechanic. This may sound like a shitpost, but it's actually a game mechanic. So, alright, anyway. Let's heal up Flamigo, because Flamigo can probably... And you know what? I'll heal up Barracuda as well. Do I want to look around here and fight trainers that are not that... So the guy that's right over there, the black belt, he had a text box that was black and gold. When you see a black and gold text box, you don't want to mess with those trainers. At least not yet. They're considered the tough trainer of the area, and they have the highest level Pokemon out of any trainer in the area. So, you want to be careful with them. So we won't mess with him for right now. I'm just trying to debate whether I want to go this way or go back to Los Platos. You know what? We can come back this way in a little while when it's actually needed. It's not needed now, so let's go back to Los Platos. Do I want to grab this? Yeah, I guess so. And then we'll go back up this way. Just in case I see anything I don't have currently. I gotta be careful over here, though. I'm gonna get chased down by these Flamigo in a second. They are aggressive, and they do run very fast. So, that one... That was a little slow on the draw, though. So... Now, that being said, you could also have your own Flamigo fight the Flamigo and get a whole bunch of experience out of it if you really choose to. I'll wait like 2 seconds to see if I can demonstrate that, and then we'll go from there. I might fast travel back, honestly. Like, this is a game where... Normally, I'm not a huge fan of fast traveling in games, but... Oh, okay. I guess he noticed me. Fine, I'll fight you then if you want to come running straight up on me. Engage with this. I was gonna say, watch him be faster than me and just peck me anyway. I have a minus speed nature, so it was bound to happen. I'll probably get KO'd if I stay in, so I can't stay in. Yeah, I guess we'll just bring Natalie in. Sorry, the cough is still sticking around a little bit, but I'll still try to make sure I cough away from the microphone, obviously, because nobody needs to hear that. At least not directly in their eardrums. Natalie, just bring us home. You won't risk that soak. It's a funny story, actually. You shouldn't say that. Trick or Treat on Trevenant is actually funny because it just adds grass to your existing type, so you can literally make Fortress or Scizor 8 times weak to fire. One thing that you think you are 100% getting is the bulked up Dolphin. Don't you need to do, like, trade evolution to get the bulked up Dolphin? I could probably get its pre-evolution, but I don't know if I can get the fully evolved form. Because I'm pretty sure you need to do trade evolution, and I don't have Nintendo Switch Online, so I don't think I can do that. I'm not sure. But I could definitely get the pre-evolution, so... Oh, good. We were on a slope. So this is the evolution screen. This is actually rare in this game because typically Pokemon normally evolve in the overworld in this game rather than in the evolution screen. But because we were at an awkward angle on a slope in the overworld, the game took us to this screen instead because it would rather this than the Pokemon clip through the ground while it's evolving. So I guess you get to see this rare phenomenon really early on as we evolve Scatterbug into Spupa. So there we go. Bird fight. It does require multiplayer. Oh, that's sad. Yeah. Well, there you go. Wow, it's so pretty in here now. Planning on using any mints to change natures? Yeah, probably, Hermie. The nature that I got on the team member that I'm actually going to use, like, for the gym challenge is... I think it's minus attack. It's plus defense, which isn't bad for what it does, but... It's minus attack, and I'm planning on using physical attack as its main attacking stat, so that's not so good. So we'll probably do a little mint changing. We can't do any mint changing for a little while yet, though, because, well, mints aren't available just yet. You can get a few in the overworld, though, so I'll be picking those up. I guess I didn't mention it because we just saw it on the screen there, but they don't have Corviknight flying you places like in Sword and Shield in this region. They actually have Squawkabilly doing it, which means those 4 Squawkabilly together just carried probably about 250 pounds worth of human. That's nuts. I guess they really do have hustle. Oh, I think we missed a Nurse Joy tip just a few minutes ago because I healed off-screen when I went and caught that Ralts. She talked about how you could aim with the ZL button and then throw the Pokeball with the ZR button. And then she just talked about crouching just now, which, it's all good. Not a big deal. I don't think we missed anything particularly vital, so. There's a whole bunch of items to grab up this hill, and I'll probably grab ones that are close to the path up, but I'm probably not going to go exploring around too much just yet. Let's see if I can find another Combi, maybe one that's female in this group. I think there's only like a 5% encounter chance for female Combi, though, so it's probably not that common, unless this one is. I didn't get a look at it just a second ago. Let's see. Yeah, this is a female Combi. Okay. Well, I guess we could grab this one instead of grabbing the static Vespiquen that's available out in the world. Why not? It doesn't matter to me which one we get, because they'll both work for my purposes. I can always evolve this one a little later. Plus, actually, this means I could probably evolve this one a little early if I wanted to, because then I could use it for... I don't think Vital KO. I could use it for something coming up in a little while. It's probably going to be a few episodes before I do that, but... you never know. I don't mind having a little bit of variety. There's a lot of objectives in this game besides just the gym challenge, so I don't mind having a little variety in the box that I can choose from team-wise. Yeah, wow, look, a 5% encounter. Don't want to use online so you don't get the buff dolphin that got banned from OU. It is really strong, so I mean, I can understand why. Know that you haven't seen Pokerus since Gen 7? I feel like it's probably... Oh, we got a critical capture. So when you... I forgot to mention that. When you capture a Pokemon you've already captured before in this game, I think you always get a critical capture. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think you do. So... yeah, I feel like Pokerus is still around, but I don't know if you can get it, like, anytime... I don't know, honestly. I don't know. The last time I saw Pokerus was when I raised competitive Pokemon in Gen 6, so I couldn't tell you whether it is or isn't still around. So, alright, there goes the male Combi. We have the female Combi, so now we can get the full evolution. So there we go. You gonna use a Vespiquen? Actually love her. She's very regal lady and used her on the team that got you Grand Duchess, and why. Also, never go for Grand Duchess or Duke. It is not worth it. Isn't that the one where you have to get like 100 wins in a row in the Battle Maison or something? Yeah, that sounds like hell, and I don't think I'm going to go for that one, so... But, I'm glad that you got it. Congrats. That's a lot of work, so at least it paid off for something. I love how I said I wasn't going to go for the items, now I'm just wandering around through the wilderness looking for items. I could do this later as well. Oh, there's Squavit there. I was actually looking for something else in the trees, but... Oh, and a Bonsly. Okay, I'll take it. It's new. Double kick would probably KO you, because even with sturdy, you'll still get whacked upside the head by that. So let's send Aracuda in, see if we can do anything. I don't want to send in Hoppip, because Hoppip has potentially... it could get hit by a rock-type move, it's flying type, so... What are you going to do, copycat my switch-ins? Where you climb the ranks in the chateau. The Maison is the least fun. Got you the old Emerald Battle Frontier theme. Oh, okay. Yeah, did I say Battle Maison? I think I meant Battle Chateau, but yeah. Love that they had the backstory in this game about Corviknight and Tinkaton. Yeah, we'll learn a little bit about that a little later once we find a Tinka. Well, it'd be a Tinka-Tink, wouldn't it? Or I forget what the metal evolution is called. I think the version that's the baseline is Tinka-Tink. It's a rock, hides like a tree. They're in the trees. They're in the damn walls. Oh boy. Oh, we got it. I don't mind using up all my Pokeballs because we should get quite a few after this, so I'm not really super concerned about it. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. So Flamigo is in the medium-slow experience group, which is pretty much overall one of the best experience groups because it pretty much gains levels very quickly, all the way up until about level 60 when it starts to slow down. But usually by the time you get to 60, you're basically done with the game to begin with. So, like, yeah, it's as if they handed you a Hawlucha that's in the medium-slow experience group. So just imagine that, and you've got a vague idea of what we're cooking up with here. So I was thinking about catching that little guy over there and the Squavit that's around here as well, but we can always come back and catch more stuff later, and we're starting to get to the point where our Pokemon are getting a little high-leveled. Nate's already level 12, and that's about as far as I would want her to go by the time we get to the town. So I think instead of going and fighting any of the trainers on the route, we will come back because we don't need... There's a reward you get for fighting a certain number of trainers on the route, and you can actually grab that reward from the Pokemon kiosk over here. But since we've fought so many, I think we'll just not, and we'll just go over here and we'll heal up. Yeah, here's the person. So if they have a yellow text box with an orange outline, they usually either are a shopkeeper of some kind or they have something that they will give you if you've done something. In this case, this guy's a representative for the Pokemon League, and if you beat 4 trainers in this area specifically, he has a prize for you. And we did not defeat enough trainers, we've only beaten 2, but as I said, we've caught enough Pokemon to where our Pokemon are pretty high leveled as it is. So I don't want to over level, it'd be a little too much, so let's just keep going. Tinkaton is literally your favorite Pokemon from Gen 9. It's Tinkatink, Tinkatuff, and Tinkaton. That's what it is, Tinkatuff, yeah. It's the middle one. Sis used Tinkaton on her Violet team. It's her ace, and yeah, there's that signature move, Gigaton Hammer! It's such a ridiculous move, too. If its stats were like... I think its attack stat is a little bit low, but you can always raise that by training its EVs up. And yeah, it can be very strong, so... Oh, I guess we can take pictures in this as well. There's a camera app that you can use. I think it's down on the D-pad. Yes. So if you use the camera app, you can take pictures of Pokemon or pictures of yourself if you flip the camera so they can take pictures of you. I don't know how much camera taking I'm going to do. If I see something doing something goofy on the road, I might take pictures of it, but I'm not 100% sure about that yet. Sometimes I do that in my spare time when I'm just playing on my own, but I don't know how much spare time we're going to have this playthrough just because I'm already taking my time. I mean, I got through the first 3 hours and I didn't even get to Mesagoza, so... I don't know how people will feel about me deciding to stop and smell the roses and take pictures all over the place. It's like, just get on with it! It's just the group from the Monty Python movie. Yes, get on with it! How about this? I feel like Aerokuda's not really going to do well in the next battle at all. Hoppip and Natalie are already pretty high leveled, and Spupa's just kind of hanging out for the experience points, so... We'll just let Spupa hang out for the experience points. I guess I could give Spupa the experience candy that I got as well, because, I mean, it's not going to get it there any faster right now, but that's just going to burn a hole in my pocket if I don't do anything with it, so... Could have kept the rare candy, but it was worth too much money, so... Oh, I have duplicate TMs that I can sell. Excuse me. And another thing, by the way, that you can do if you want to get rid of all the red dots like I do, is you can sort by newest first. And that puts all the new ones with the red dots at the top of your inventory, and then you can just sort them afterwards by name or type or whatever you want to do. I guess we'll just go with type, because that'll let me sort these by that. So. Okay, let me save real quick. We'll leave Flamigo in the front slot, and then we will check out the master plan that I have before we head into Mesagoza proper. There's another trainer over there we could fight. There's still quite a lot of trainers here on this route that we could fight, but we can always come back and fight them later, so... I'm not too concerned about it. We don't need to over-level this early. I want to try to be the same level as whatever the highest level Pokemon is that I'll be fighting in each individual objective in this game, so whether that's the gym leader's ace Pokemon or what. So I don't want to over-level. I hear a Nemona behind me. I'm surprised. I took my sweet time and You didn't seem to get here any faster than I did. Usually I'm used to my rivals being ahead of me. I mean, sure, why not? I guess. I think you're just saying that because you can use me to assist yourself in your fixation on battles. Which, whatever, it gets me experience points, so I shouldn't complain too loudly. I say that like this is already guaranteed. You love Tinkaton. Has a mediocre base attack stat. If it weren't for that, Gigaton Hammer would actually be broken. Yeah, if you max your IVs out, that really helps with making it a lot stronger as well, so... There's this Pokemon-like game that has a really nice story and cool pixel style that you used to play some time ago. It's called Koromon? Koromon. Where have I heard Koromon before? Isn't that a Digimon? I feel like that's a Digimon, because Koromon's the one that evolves into Agumon, right? Digi-evolves into Agumon, but it might also be the name of a game. I mean, I suppose it's not... I don't know how copyrighted it would be, but... I think it would be with the C, because the K Koromon is the Digimon, so... Hey, Conker, the exploring is going pretty well, but I think we've explored enough. We got a Flamigo, so I think it's about time we head to school. I think we're as stacked as we can be, so... Gonna do level caps. Leveled so fast it was impossible to do level caps, or says she was 9 levels above every gym after a while. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do level caps. Hopefully we won't go over them, but we'll see. Alright, Weed Cat. Let's peck the Weed Cat. Not bad, Flamigo, not bad. I'd take it. And where is it? Tooth Gap. Sorry, I have to say it every time just so everybody knows exactly where it is. If you're watching the VOD, you can now pause it and go back and look at what I'm talking about. And it's not even really a tooth gap. It's more like a seam in the polygons of her teeth. Like it's a game thing. It's not a person thing. You would never... I mean, you might see that in real life, but only, again, if they have lockjaw, so... Oh, is Nemona the first person that has more than one Pokemon as a trainer that we fought? I think so. So there's no set mode in this game. You can't switch off switch mode in this game, which is a travesty to me because I loved set mode. It made Pokemon battles more strategic. I'm going to play the game as if set mode is enabled, which means I'm going to ignore this option every time it comes up by pressing the B button every time it comes up. So... As if the game... I mean, the game already is easy enough, but, like, I'm going to challenge myself a little bit with it. Alright, so she caught a Pawmi, but this Pawmi has a secret. However, I also have a secret. I have a ground type, so let's switch to the ground type. I'm sorry, Diglett, I have to send you out into the sunlight now, but I promise it won't be for too long. My poor Diglett needs a utility umbrella so the sun doesn't cook his poor little body. Nemona, what are you doing? What in the world is that supposed to be? Well, that's the Generation 9 gimmick. You put on a funny hat. This hat looks like a light bulb because Pawmi's an electric type. This is called terastallizing. It uses the Terra type of your Pokemon to use a very powerful attack. If the attack matches both the Terra type and the type of the Pokemon, it gets a 2 times multiplier to its damage instead of a 1.5 times multiplier. If it only matches the Terra type, it gets a 1.5 times multiplier, as if it had same type attack bonus. However, I have a ground type, so Thundershock will not work. Now, here's the thing. Nemona's Pawmi only knows Thundershock. It does not know the moves it normally knows at this level if you caught it in the wild. It only and exclusively knows Thundershock, which means simultaneously, Pawmi just can't attack Diglett, 1, and 2, it just solved the problem that Diglett had being out in the sunlight because the sun has just been darkened from the sky by the crystal hat sitting on Pawmi's head. Thank you, Pawmi, you have been a huge help, and also you have static, so that's why we needed Rock Blast, because every other move that Diglett uses is a contact move, so I would have procced static if I didn't use Rock Blast. I 5D chessed this boss battle that literally it required a ground type and nothing else, but... I had to implement some strategy. Listen, I've played too much Nocturne at this point. I can't not do this stuff. So this is the most strategic you will ever see this boss battle actually happen. So yeah, she's only got Thundershock, and so I've basically completely made her terastallization a moot point. So much for that tutorial. Yeah, losing set mode was a monumental loss. Yeah, I think so. She even ended up over-leveling in Legends Arceus because she was purposely hunting down alphas. Yeah, that will do it. Alphas are worth a lot of experience, so that will do it. That peak is sharp, yep. Against a rock type, Diglett could just burrow underground to hide away from the sun. That is true, but the poor fella has to stay above ground to battle, unfortunately, because he doesn't know Dig yet, so... What? And the stab. She totally KO'd that surprise. Oh, boy. Agile style, then Ice Beam, and got another move off for it. Could move and did a strong style Ice Beam to hit KO. Wow. Played too much SMT. It's permanently ingrained in your head. Yes, it certainly is, and so that's why I have to put this much strategy into a Pokemon game. Not to worry, there will be a reason for us to use a little more strategy soon enough. We're going to set the stage today in this episode, and then we'll keep going with it in tomorrow's, but we'll see. Who's learning Bullet Seed? Hoppip? I don't know if that would be better than... I mean, I guess you've got 14 attack and 14 special attack. I'll get rid of Absorb. You can actually remember moves right from the Pokemon status menu now. So if I get rid of this, I can always just remember it if I need it later. But I think you get Mega Drain pretty soon anyway, so... Not a big deal. Yes, we'll set the stage today, and then in tomorrow's episode we will be... Yeah, so tomorrow is the next stream, and in tomorrow's episode we'll be reaping the rewards of our labors. So... Well, that's what you get for deleting all of Palmy's moves except Thundershock. Why did you do that? No, I can't, so why did you try to rip me a new butthole by using it against me? Thundershock does hurt quite a bit at this point in the game. There's only a couple of Pokemon you can catch between now and, like, the beginning of the game that resist Electric-type moves. So, Diglett's, of course, one of them because it's immune. But you could always have Deerling do it, I guess. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. You can catch a Bounsweet at one of the trees down near the lower part of this hill, so that could do it as well. And I think that's about it, honestly. I don't think there's too much else that can resist. Oh, no, no, it can't. Never mind. I was going to say Oricorio, but the Pom-Pom style has the electric flying typing, so... Or you could just, you know, catch a Wattrel that has Volt Absorb if you want to do that, too. But that would be, like, level 14 right now against her level 9 Palmy, which is a little silly, I think, so... Anyway, more revives. And now we're going to get automatically teleported into the school so that they don't have to make this door anything more than low-res polygons, because, as you can see, it's low-res polygons and it will not open. Because that opening animation would require it to have higher polygons so that it could have more corners, so that the corners could open. And, yeah. Look, SMT's funny. It's always fun to get his turn 0 game over in a brand new area when you literally couldn't prepare. Yeah, that happens. If you get back attacked in Nocturne, that'll happen. Might do shitpost star to this. Why do they give you revives this early? Also, that door looks like a badly done chocolate bar. Yes and yes. I think they give you revives this early just because they want to ensure that you don't, like, if you don't want to go back to the kiosk every single time, you have an option. I mean, I guess I don't mind it, especially since I can probably sell a few of them if I need some extra cash for what I'm going to buy, but we're going to buy a few things. So I need to make the rounds in Mesagoza. I need to check this whole town out before I go to school. Yeah, I guess we're here. Just have to make it up 1 mile's worth of staircase before we get to the school. I mean, I don't know if it could be a big trade hub. It's kind of centrally located, so unless you could get, like, ships and stuff up here, I'd imagine it'd be kind of hard for it to be a trade hub. Wouldn't they have to, like, be able to drive cars in here? Or, you know, have ships park in the harbor outside? Like, this is at the top of a mountain, basically, so isn't it a little tough to make it a trade hub? I would think that some of the towns on the coast would be more trade hubby. Then again, this region's layout is a little... I don't know. The geography of this region, to me, is a little perplexing, but I can talk about that later. Well, quite frankly, I gave up my sandwich to Miraidon so that it wouldn't perish on the beach, so I'm starving. I haven't eaten since breakfast. It's been hours, Nimona. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess. Do I need to use the gimmick of the region? I mean, I will use it a few times, but... Sometimes I just shy away from using the gimmick unless it's like a really important boss fight. There are a couple accessories I'd like to buy, so... Yeah, and she's actually right about that. That is a good recommendation. There's quite a few items you can buy at Delibird Presents to spruce up your Pokemon with hold items, including some that I am absolutely shocked that they are selling this early in the game, but we'll talk about those in just a little bit when I get enough money to actually afford them. So... Okay, so Nimona will run off, leave us to our own devices, and we can head to the school gates, but I'm going to turn left and just make a big old loop around this whole town. Grab a few items along the way, check the whole place out, see a few things, see a few sights, and then we'll go up the hill to school once we've grabbed a few things, because there's some stuff here. Nothing particularly fancy on the ground. Most of the good stuff is, we're going to need to do a little Assassin's Creed roof jumping in order to get the good stuff. So, but we'll do that in a little bit. Ma'am, you don't have to be that fancy with it. You have like 53 followers on Instagram. Sorry, that's probably mean. I wonder if you can actually go out the west and east gates right now before you go to school. I think if I remember correctly, they tell you no because you have to go to school first, right? Yeah. So you can't actually leave right now. They're kind of their way of gatekeeping you and preventing you from going that way, but you can sequence break to get that way right now if you really wanted to. There's a hill in Area 1 of the South Province just down there, where if there's a Pokemon at the other side of that hill, there's like a gap that you can't clear, but if there's a Pokemon at the other side of the hill, you can just clear the gap by throwing a Pokeball at it, get into a battle with it, run away, and then, hey, all of a sudden, congratulations, you're in South Province Area 4. So, yeah, there's some open world quirks here, that's for sure. This lady's the one that talks about Pokemon size, right? Yeah. Hi there. Yeah, so the Pachirisu she has there, she's got a tiny one and a large one. And she'll let you know how large your Pokemon are relative to others of their species. So let's take a look. Probably Natalie's going to be just average, but I'll check Natalie, and I'll also check... Oh, I stuck Interceptor over here. I guess I could stick him, in a box with other Pokemon so he's not just sitting there by his lonesome, but we'll do that in a minute. Let's check Natalie's size relative to everybody else. Yeah, she's average. I think your starter pretty much always ends up average. I don't think I've ever gotten a starter that hasn't been, so either I've gotten very lucky or the starter always ends up that way. So, all right, let's check Interceptor while we're here. And Interceptor's average size as well. Okay, well that's about right, honestly, so... Alright, here's one of the Pokemon kiosks. I would highly recommend that you heal up here, even if you got a full restore. I think you get a full restore from fighting Nimona, but I would highly recommend you heal up at least one of the Pokemon centers in here. If you don't, well, it's not a huge deal, but you'll be walking a little further than you would otherwise. So. Oh yeah, so if you see Pokemon icons, if you go in the general direction of that Pokemon, you can usually find a Pokemon near to where that icon is, but if you see the little swarm icon, that little red glow behind them like that, that means it's a mass outbreak of that Pokemon, so there will be a lot of that Pokemon in that area, and you can catch a whole bunch of them if you want them, so... Fun thing about the state of Spain, there's a religious tradition of covering up in white coats, and tourists confuse them with the KKK. Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like that needs to be explained a little bit to tourists, because otherwise I could see the confusion, but maybe we're just making assumptions as tourists, I don't know. What held item are you going to buy this time? We don't talk about the geography in Paldea. The person who designed this was like, leg day! Need to have those legs in shape. I think the funniest item you can buy is the one that lets you gamble like a pro. Boy, she's fast. Funny thing, it's going to be a 28 Years Later film next month. How has the rage virus not been taken care of in almost 3 decades? Because it makes enough money for them to make more sequels, I guess. Alright, there's a ladder here. We can, in fact, Assassin's Creed this low poly building. Perfect. I should not be allowed up here. There should be a construction worker blocking the path, but boy am I still allowed up here despite being a small child. I know Rotom phones will save you from your fall, but you can't always assume everybody has the latest model of Rotom phone. Okay, there we go. But if we do come up here, we can grab an Electro Ball TM. It sells for 5,000 Poké Dollars right now. So guess what we're doing to it? Alongside the zinc. Actually, before I sell it, let me go grab a couple of the other items that are worth a pretty penny here in town. So, and while I'm at it, let's buy some new glasses, because I think there's some new glasses available here too. Yeah, there's a glasses shop right over there, so let's go take a look. If you go up those stairs, that's where the next event triggers, so if you want to do that, you could. I don't need a hat, I got a good enough hat. But we'll go up those stairs in just a minute once we go into this shop. Unfortunately, gone are the days where the shops have actual interiors. There are some shops in this game that do have interiors, but for the most part, this is the screen you'll be met with every time you go to the interior of a shop. You'll be met with a menu screen instead of an actual shop. It's a little unfortunate, but the game already runs, like, not well anyway, so I don't know what I really expect. Is it the half-rim sunglasses? Yes, it is. Let's buy some half-rim sunglasses so that way my eyeballs stay a little bit protected from the sunlight, shall we? I'll pay with LP, actually, because I'm going to need the cash, because in order to buy items that are higher prices, you need the full amount of that item, so better not to cut into my money just yet. So, alright, there we go. Half-rim sunglasses. We'll hold on to those. Oh, I am done shopping for now at this location anyway. And then I don't need socks. I don't need shoes. Well, I do need shoes, but not from this shop. That's a coffee shop. That's Chansey Supply, which sells bitter medicine, which is really weird to associate that with the Chansey, but whatever. So, and then I think if I remember correctly, we also want to get black plain gloves. Yeah. So we won't need these for right now, but we will want to have these a little bit later. Well, we don't have to have them, honestly, but I'm buying them aesthetically because they'll be more useful when we get into colder climates, if you know what I mean. So, and I'll pay with LP again. Nope, it's too warm out for that, so I'll just keep my regular hands. Okay, so I think that's all the shopping in terms of accessories I want to buy, so... Those things are very slippery. Why the heck was there a ladder that tall? Well, roof fixing. Yeah, it's probably for roof fixing. The roof was very slippery, though, so I'm glad I didn't fall off just in the process of wandering around over there. So, is it this way? No, I don't want to go this way just yet, actually. I want to go to the right side of the steps over here. I don't want to go up the steps. I want to go to the right of the steps. To find another ladder. Why are they letting me climb these? I am 10 years old. I should not be given roof access for any reason. I mean, okay, it's fine game. I can grab that. There's another zinc worth 5,000 more Poké Dollars. Slide over here so we can grab this. Here's an Ice Fang TM. We could teach that to Aracuda, and that would be a pretty strong coverage move to have for a little while. And I don't think there's anything over here, right? If I can even get there without sliding off. Ooh, almost slid off twice. No, okay. Well, I'm going to assume, yeah, there's nothing over there for me to grab, so we won't bother. There we go. But I do want to get over here, actually, and, like, up and around. Because if we go up here, not over there, where is it? I think it's over here. I want to get on this roof, which I think requires me to go like this. Okay, almost fell off in the wrong direction. There is a way to get up here. I don't remember what it is, though. There it is. Okay, that's what we want to do. And then slide off over here. Get dropped into this corner with no escape, by the way. There's a railing that prevents anyone from getting up on this ledge. I don't know why it's here, but you cannot get out of here once you're here. And if we go over to the corner here, we can grab a nugget, which is worth, I think, either 5 or 10,000 Poké Dollars. I think it's 5,000, actually. But this is why I said make sure that you rest at least one of the Mesagoza Pokemon centers, because if you don't, you can't fly to it, so you'd have to go all the way back out here to this one, or whichever one you rested at last, and then you have to manually walk all the way back into Mesagoza. So, because you can't get out of here. That being said, we did just collect a whole bunch of items that we can sell for a whole bunch of money, so now we should have a little bit of extra spending cash to take the Delibird presents with us. So there you go. But yeah, those are the items that I found that are worth the most money here. There's probably a few others, but I said, yeah, you know what? It's probably for the best that I just grab those ones. So yeah, wow. You also don't have a safety vest, so you're definitely not authorized to be up there. Yep, nope. So it's a good thing I'm done on the roofs for the foreseeable future. Alright, let's sell 3 of these. I only need like 15 of these total, if not less. Don't need the X items. I won't ever use them. I'll just use a wide lens instead of the X accuracy. Sell both of the Zincs. Sell the duplicate TMs. And sell the Electro Ball TM. I think I might even sell the Substitute TM because you can get both of these out in the world fairly close to Mesagoza itself. And I'll never use Substitute anyway, so I think I'll just sell it, honestly. We'll need the cash, so I might as well. We could also sell, there's, I think, 15 Gimmighoul coins by the East Gate that you could sell. So if you need the money, you could always sell those. But we've got a clean $40,000 just from doing this, so I'm okay with that. Cha-ching! Alright, so now we got a whole ton of money that we can use at the Delibird Presents shop. So let's go spend a little money, shall we? Before we head to the east side. Once we head to the east side, there's a couple other items I want to pick up while we make the rounds, and then after that we'll head up to the school, so. Why am I doing this so efficiently? What did Pokemon ever do to deserve a person playing the game as efficiently as this? Like, this is better, this is, I don't want to say better, this is more, like, hyperfixation than Howlo does, and Howlo is very in-depth with his playthroughs. I don't know. I don't know what Pokemon did to deserve this. Is it in battle items or general goods? Okay, so here's some battle items you can grab. So you've got some booster items in terms of each of the like type boosters. You get 20% extra power out of these for bug, flying, normal, water, fire, and grass. There's also muscle bands or wise glasses, which I think boost all moves by either 10% or 20%. I don't remember. But you can get one of each of these for free out in the world, so I wouldn't bother with buying these. You can always get them later. There's a focus band, which is a meme. There's an ability shield, which is an even bigger meme, because I imagine that could be useful situationally in competitive play, but it literally never happens in this game, as far as I'm aware. And there's a quick claw, which could probably be useful, but you could also probably find that somewhere in the overworld. General goods is where it's at, though, because A, there's a Soothe Bell here. I would not bother buying a Soothe Bell here, though, because you can get one for free in Mesagoza. I'll show you where it is in just a minute. However, here's the thing that you can buy that I am shocked that they are selling at this point in the game. You can buy power items, which behave like Macho Braces did back in... I think we used the Macho Brace in either Coliseum or XD. We didn't use it in Let's Go because that had a separate EV system. But these behave like the Macho Brace. Basically, you put it on a Pokemon, their speed gets halved in battle, but they get 4... Actually, I think it's 8 EVs now. They even increased the limit on it. It's like 8 EVs per... Pokemon that they take on and whatever stat you have it on. So like if they have a power weight on, their speed's cut in half in battle, but that's not it's not cutting their EVs, it's just cutting their overall speed by 50%. But for every Pokemon they defeat in battle while holding this, they get, I think it's 8 EVs in HP. Same thing with attack, defense, special attack, special defense, speed. These are available at the start of the game. Granted, they're 10,000 Pokédollars, but as you can see, if you do a little hunting, you can have $40,000 right now with no trouble whatsoever. So obviously, the ones that you'd want to grab would probably be the HP ones, the speed ones, and the ones for their primary attack stats, special attack or attack. However, I'm going to grab a power belt for defense, specifically for defense. This one's one that I almost never would normally grab, but these are special circumstances, so I will show you why we want this in a little while. But this is why we needed so much actual cash on hand, is because we need the full 10,000. We can't cut it half and half where we spend half of our LP and half of our money on this. So I'm going to buy a power belt, and then I could start buying for Pokemon that I'll have in a little bit when I actually start raising other ones. I guess I'll buy a power bracer. And I'll buy a power lens as well. What I'm going to do for these things is I'm actually going to buy just the ones for either the attack stat or the special attack stat for whichever Pokemon I'm going to use, depending on which stat they're going to use for their actual, like, attack power. So, like, if they're going to be a physical attacker, I'll give them a power bracer. If they're going to be special attacker, I'll give them the power lens. I'll max that stat out, and then whatever other EVs they get across the game are just going to be the ones they get. I'm not going to worry about it after that point. So, I almost want to buy an Everstone to give to Nate because I'm not planning on evolving her. I think I will with my LP, actually. Because I don't think you get an Everstone in the overworld, or at least I don't remember where you could anyway. You could also buy a phone case for your Rotom, but I think the only ones available right now are the ones for your starters and otherwise ones that I'm not planning on using, so, you know. A 1 hour stream epic. Let's go to an intro. Don't know what that is. Didn't know the ability shield was a thing. Can't believe you can buy the power items this soon. The game just started and you can EV train. Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous, but yeah, I don't really think I think the ability shield is new. I don't think it was in other Pokemon games before this, but I've definitely never seen it before if it was. Maybe, actually, no, hang on. Maybe it was in the DLC for Gen 8. That would be the only place I could think it might have been, because I did not play the DLC for Gen 8, so it could definitely have been there. So, I don't think the dice were in the other shop category for this shop. I think they're available in a different shop, because some of the Delibird presents, there are different Delibird presents shops in different towns in the game, and there's different stock in different towns, so that might be why. So, it's almost like they wanted people to get straight into competitive. It's the magic of new gens. That's hilarious. Thought it'd be added later, not available at the start. It's all coming together slowly. Yeah, pretty much. Alright, so we have the Power Belt now, but we don't have the Pokemon that's actually going to use it just yet, so we'll go from there in just a little bit. Although I guess I could give the Power Bracer to Interceptor, since, or I could give it to Flamigo, so Flamigo could just do big damage, but I think Flamigo probably will do big damage no matter what. It's got base 115 attack, so I don't think I need to be that excessive about it. Well, I'll give Interceptor the Power Bracer, because I was planning on giving it to Interceptor anyway. I'll give it to him when we bring him back into the party. It might be a little bit, though, because I said I was going to keep him in the party for the rest of the game last time. And that's true as long as I'm doing the gym challenge, but at the moment I'm not doing the gym challenge, I'm just going to school, so we'll bring Interceptor in when the gym challenge begins in earnest, which normally would start as soon as you're done at school for the first few days, but, well, this playthrough is a little bit of a special case. I keep hinting at what it's going to be. I think I just need to get on with it, but let's make the other half circle around town. I'll stop over at the Pokemon kiosk over here. I'm not even going to call it a Pokemon Center anymore, because it's really not. Like, a center would be a building. This is literally just like a corner shop. Actually, it's not even a corner shop. A corner shop would be a building, too. This is, well, a kiosk, really. That's all it can really be said to be. The eastern half of Paldea is available through the gate over here, but obviously we can't go that way if it's anything like the west gate. So. Wish having a comically high defense stat was enough to steamroll, but special moves exist. All hail Princess Nate. Yeah, special attacks are a bit of a problem. Thankfully, where we're going, we won't need special defense, so... Imagine a Steelix with a defense-boosting nature, max defense EVs, max defense IVs, and +6 defense in battle. Big metal snake. He'd be as tanky as Drachma was in Skies of Arcadia. Oh, okay, good. So Nurse Joy's done with her pro tips for us. Although I think there are some new pro tips that were added once the DLC was added to this game, because there's 2 DLC in this game, as you can see. It's being advertised in the main menu. I miss the old days. We won't be doing the DLC in this game. I just have no intention or interest of purchasing it. So, if you'd like to see someone else play it, I think Frank is eventually going to show it off when he's eventually done posting it, but he's still posting his footage of the base game on his channel for his Pokemon Scarlet blind playthrough, so you might see it eventually. I don't know. I'd have to ask Frank, and it might be a little while yet, because I think... If I remember correctly, he just finished posting his coverage of Gym 5, so he's still got a little bit of a ways to go. But that's okay. Anyway, coming to this nice little park here, you can go up these stairs. More stairs. As was said previously, that this whole city is literally leg day by Hermie. So... Metal equals solid. Solid Snake. There you go. Solid Snake referenced. Miss Skies of Arcadia, to be honest. The song starts playing. Valid. Yeah. Anyway, come into this nice little park. You can go up in the terrace here. Here's your Soothe Bell. So now if you want to evolve your Pichu or your Igglybuff or your Azurill or your, what was the other one? Happiny. You can do that because you can have them hold the Soothe Bell, and there's a lot of wandering around in this game, so they will reach their happiness threshold a lot faster. It's not like it was in older games where they need to reach over, I think it was 200 happiness or 220. Oop, hi Bronzong, sorry, didn't mean to run into you. I was going to get the item behind you. I hope you're having a good day. But yeah, there's a max revive over here as well. As if they weren't handing you enough revives already. Here's a maximum one. But anyway, just about done with the rounds. I think if I remember right, there's one more item to grab over here. Or is it over there? No, I thought it was right here. Well, might have been a Pokeball or something. That's okay. We don't need a Pokeball. If you have save data from older games, which on this Switch I don't have my Let's Go save file, unfortunately, but you can get a phone case for either Let's Go or for, I think there's a Sword and Shield one, and I think there's one for Legends Arceus as well. But I don't have save data on this Switch for any of the above, so since I don't, we won't be getting any phone cases. But that's okay. Those phone cases... Ma'am, are you okay? Those phone case... I think you should choose reality, because wherever you were about to go was not going to be a good place. Those phone cases won't match up with the rest of my outfit anyway, so I think it'd be better to just not. Let's see... Yeah, I might as well leave Flamigo in the front slot, because Flamigo, out of all of the Pokemon that are in the party right now, Flamigo is the one that I actually want to get experience for. Well, that and Aerocuda, and I guess Spupa as well, but Flamigo is the one that's going to need the experience the most in a short period of time, so. Alright, let's head up to the school. Team Star, some kind of motorcycle club? You guys look like you get out on mopeds a lot. You don't choose your friends like that. You just happen to do the same things and like doing the same things together. When you try to choose your friends, it doesn't work out well. It usually ends up kind of toxic. And also she's telling you no. Why can't you take no for an answer, you bunch of bullies? Yeah, no, that's not gonna fly with me. No, ma'am, that's why I have sunglasses on. Actually, I'm pretty sure you get no respect because you do this stupid little dance in public. What are you doing? You're embarrassing yourself. Stop it. I don't even need to do anything, and these punks are already embarrassing themselves. I'll take care of the four eyes over here. Alright, come on. Nice light show. Now let's see if you have the battle skills to back it up. Professor Egad. I love Shroodle. It's such a silly little Pokemon. It's literally just a head with a tooth. Okay, well, it's normal poison, so let's just double kick it. See where we end up. Oh, that'll do, Flamigo. That'll definitely do. To all of you who know that the song that's playing in the background is a banger, 1, and 2, only plays 7 times in the entire game, I apologize for just wasting one of those opportunities. But I had to show this girl that I mean business, so. Well, maybe you shouldn't have done that dance. You probably got yourself all lightheaded. Got the DLC for Sis, and best thing to come out of that is people figuring out how to RNG manipulate the 3D printer in the second DLC. I didn't even know there was manipulation. That's hilarious. Squared. To the power. People have literally figured out how to RNG manipulate printing Master Balls. What is this? Gen 1 again? Yeah, it's like the missing no glitch again. Excuse me. Used the Arceus one and it was like, "Hi God, we haven't talked in a while." "Hey, how you doing, Hermie? Glad to hear you again. How's the Pokedex going 150 years from now?" What do you mean a quota? I thought this was a school. With the phone cases. Looks like the that with the teeths. The professor with the teeths. Not even one day into school, and we're already being bullied. Well, we're already bullying the bullies, so I guess that's probably for the best. Yes. I mean, I don't know. Do you have to protect the team's honor or something? Pero bueno. Hi, Nimona. Well, then maybe you should book it instead of freezing on the spot. Well, listen, they started it, not me. And if Director Clavel was here, he'd be looking down and shaking his head again. Yeah, no, that's not what happened, sorry. Yes. They were going to pick a fight with someone else, but then they picked a fight with me, and they got their you-know-whats handed to them, so... This is a trend? They do this often? Oh my god. Oh, okay, good. So I can just go to school now, right? Or not. Huh. Well, that's cool. I guess we got our own Terra Orb now, not 3 hours into the game. I feel like they could have handed you the gimmick a little later. I always thought that the way they handled the gimmick in Gen 6 was the best, where they sort of teased you with the idea and let you learn all the lore about Mega Evolution before handing it to you. I still think they handed it to you a little too early, but at least they didn't hand it to you right away, you know? They did that in Gen 7 and Gen 8 as well, and I was about that too. But, you know. In regards to the printer, you saw a video where someone literally made 4 Master Balls in one print session. I don't think that's okay. Missing note. Excuse me. Did it better. No lo puedo creer from you. By the power of nepotism, the power of money. Can we just go to school, Nimona, please? Yeah, well, I'm not planning on terastallizing Flamigo because that would be mean to the Yungoos that I'm about to fight. Like, it could already beat it with double kick. I don't think I need to do that. We're gonna put the crown on the person who rightfully deserves it in this party, actually. You can just do that? Okay. I mean, I guess the director knows me, so I guess I've got special benefits. Let's hope that those things don't go to my head. You wanna fight me instead? Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. Put him in his place, Nimona. You want to fight my level 66 Tauros instead? Alright, this time we'll drag the battle out a little bit so you can listen to the music. Hang on, I'll go turn it up a little bit. Funny thing is, it keeps getting better as the battle goes on. I'll go turn it back down in just a second, but I had to wait just a minute to get Natalie in, first of all, because, well, she's the princess. She's the one that deserves a crown out of anybody, so... yeah, there we go. Put in a good word for... I was joking, it really was nepotism. The other one is just dancing to provide moral support. I mean, I guess her spirit's in it. But their spirit's about to be broken because we have a new gimmick. Now the Terastallize option will light up in battle. You can only use it once per Pokemon Center visit, so use it wisely, but this is the tutorial, so obviously we're going to use it here. Let's see if thy strength befits a crown, Natalie. Hang on, wait for the music. Okay, should be good now. Let's do this, princess. It's your time to shine! Ah, just shy. Well, she got the burn. Okay, I'll take that. That'll work, princess. That'll work. But yeah, Team Star's grunt theme is like one of my favorite tracks in the game, bar none. It's a shame that it only plays 7 times total. Outside of competitive play, you can play it there too, but it's a shame that you only get to hear it this many times. All right, let me go turn it back down. Hold on. It's such a banger of a track. Oh my god. Wow, that roast. Like I said, she didn't quite get the KO, but she did get the burn. The princess knows what she's doing. For you, the people that not ironically talk in Spanglish are weird. Yeah, so like if you don't talk in the actual... I feel like, do people talk in like combinations of 2 languages with their family members? I feel like they only do that with people where it's like they know their language is a second language for the person they're talking to. Like a person who speaks in Spanish, they'll speak in Spanish, and then they might say an English word because they know someone else will understand it better. I don't know. So, let the drop mix with the animation. Sorry, every time you say princess, just hear and see your Mega Diane. See? I could see why. Candelabra time. There we go. Cool. 7 times is actually kind of criminal. Yeah, for how good that track is, it is kind of criminal, if you ask me. You know what else is criminal? They used to let you... I remember, because I bought this game before the DLC came out, and before the... I don't know why this would have done it, but when they had the... when home support, Pokemon home support, or whatever it's called, the one that you can get when you get Nintendo Switch Online, when the support for it released, there was a new patch for this game. And for some reason, the patch broke the ability for the camera to pull back at the end of a battle where you terastallized, because before that came out, if you terastallized in a battle, the camera would pull back at the end of battle after the you got this much money for winning or whatever, and it would show the crown fading away, like the terastallized cap that gets put on your Pokemon. It fades away in like a sparkly animation. There's an actual animation for it. But since the game had that update, it doesn't pull the camera back anymore. You can't see it fade out, and I hate that. I don't know why they did that. I don't even know how that could happen, but it doesn't show up anymore. It's like you guys put all this effort into making this cool animation for this crown that fades out, and now you don't even get to see it. What's the point? Oh, hang on. I forgot something over there. Let me do this. I can't see how loudly I'm screaming into the microphone unless I pull the levels up again. There we go. Just realized, why is the other grunt in heels? That's a good question. Wouldn't it be really hard to run up these stairs in heels? Maybe that's why she's so, like... I don't even know what a word I could say there without being mean. Sometimes do, but not very often, usually with older family speaking in mixed languages. Oh, okay, I gotcha, yeah. Yeah, with older family. Okay, well, that's interesting, too, because older family are usually the ones that you would expect to, like, if they moved here from wherever they came from. Like, with my family, my great-grandma and grandpa moved here from, on my mom's side, from Italy. So my great-grandma, when she was still alive, when I was very young, she would always talk about how they would just talk. Like, she learned English in school, but she would talk in Italian at home. And then my grandma, I think, did a little bit, but because her mom knew enough English, when great-grandma had her, she could speak in both languages at home. And it slowly, there was less and less Italian spoken the further along the line it went. So I don't even know Italian for reference, so, but I'm half Italian. The other grunt is in heels for fashion. Animation's cool. I think you almost never see it anymore. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. Learn other languages, being able to communicate when facing other country people. Learn another language to swear so people don't know you're swearing. We are not the same. We used to do that in French class too. Like, we would learn the French swear words, and then we would just say them in other classes in high school so that people didn't know what the heck we were talking about. They're like, are you speaking Pig Latin or something? I used to speak Pig Latin too with my grandma like it was a second language. That was really fun, actually. If you don't know what Pig Latin is, look it up. It's kind of silly. Yeah, so sometimes, not always, but sometimes you'll find a Pokemon that has a Terra type that's different from its typical types. Normally it'll just have a Terra type that's one of its 2 types, if it has 2 types, or just whatever its 1 type is. But sometimes you'll find ones that don't have that situation, and then they can get stabbed on a 3rd type of move, so. But you can only use Terra once per battle, and once you use it, you have to go back to a Pokemon Center before you can use it again, so. Is that your catchphrase? Hasta la vista? Okay, I guess. I'm really glad that they didn't try to recruit me because I would have laughed at them. Oh, really? Huh. Well, maybe the teachers should figure it out. Oh, yeah, I guess we totally forgot about you for a second, didn't we? You're welcome. Okay, see ya. I'm just glad they're not harassing her anymore. Because that was a shame. I guess. I just couldn't stand what they were doing. Maybe. I guess. You want to hear the worst sound in the world? It'll be my bones after we walk up this half-mile tall staircase. I don't need the Terra Orb in school, so we'll just recharge it later. Let's just go to school, finally. It's been too long. I've been waiting too long to see what the inside of the school's like. I'm interested in seeing all the fun activities they've got planned for us. Maybe they'll have like little chapters where they give you mini missions, out in the world that you can go do. I think it'll be interesting. Surely they won't just throw you into school only to immediately throw you back out into the open world as if school didn't exist, right? Let's just go to school. Parents and some of your parents' siblings moved to the U.S. and their children were born here, including yourself, so speaking both English and Spanish at home has been the norm since you were young. So, okay, so there you go. So now we've got kind of like a first-hand account of that, so we can corroborate it. Oh, the good old days of taking in sign language across the classroom when the teacher wasn't looking. Sign language is really good to pick up, though, because you never know when you could have something like that come in handy, but people, if they, if they are legally deaf and they speak in sign language, they're really appreciative when random people are able to communicate with them, because most of the time it's like they figure it's not going to happen. So picking it up is a good thing. So definitely use that experience. The longest tutorial ever. Are we going to hear Eye of the Tiger as we climb? No? Shame. No. That would have been nice. Just get the one from Rayman Legends in here. The thing that made a ton of speedrunners quit is how you can't really escape the damn tutorial. Yeah, and it's long, so like I could definitely see it. So, because you could sequence break out of South Province Area 1, like I said, but you can't open up any of the objectives in the game, including the gym challenge, until after you do the rest of the tutorial. So, because you need the Terra Orb in order for you to even open that stuff up. No, probably because they don't want any of the historic, like, building getting blown up by Pokemon moves. Can you imagine a Gyarados using Hydro Pump in here? Good lord. Be like drowning the Library of Alexandria instead of burning it. It was fun. I caught a bunch of Pokemon, made a few new friends. And there's that too. Oh, you're already a champion? Well, I didn't know that. Did she mention that? I feel like she didn't mention that. Maybe she did. Oh yeah, Team Star was in town as well, so... Maybe they went to the same place those Fletchling that were floating above you went after the camera just panned and they disappeared from view. They were kind of going in like 5 FPS there for a second. But that's not the last time we'll see like 5 FPS in this building. Yeah, they didn't stand a chance. Oh, okay. I'll try to remember that the next time I see them harassing a student. Oh, okay. Is she a transfer student, or... I guess maybe I'll see her in classes so I can ask her when I see her. Oh, okay. So I guess we're going to Class 1A. What in the holy high hell is happening in this classroom? I would say there's a temporal paradox going on, but what is wrong with those kids? Some of them are moving at normal speed, specifically Nimona and a couple of other students. Most of them are moving at 15 frames per second. Who did this, and why did they do this? Did you think it wouldn't be noticeable? Like, look at this. Oh my god, I can't even look at it. Like, what is going on here? Who programmed this cutscene? The ones that are in full frame, by the way, full frames per second in this room, are the ones that are going to either talk or ask questions in this cutscene. The rest of them are at 15 FPS. I don't know why. I really, really wish it didn't exist, but boy does it still exist. I'm pretty sure they even added the Pokemon Company on Twitter about this at one point, and boy, it still exists in this version of the game. So, love how this accidentally made to screw speedrunners. Enjoy the game you create. Oh my god. Imagine a Pokemon using Draco Meteor in here. Yeah, Mini Marron. There would be a lot of problems with the Draco Meteor happening in there. Is that a wheelchair kid? Is there a kid in a wheelchair here? I don't see one on this screen. I mean, I guess it's a possibility. I don't see them on this screen, though. Also, speaking of wheelchairs, is this school handicap accessible? How do people in wheelchairs get to this school exactly? Because there's so many stairs there. Is there like an elevator to get people here? Like, isn't that a problem? I didn't even think about that until just now. Thank you for alerting me to the fact that this school may not be accessible to everyone. Sure, hi. I'm Jimmy. I guess. I'm just being exuberant because it's my first time in front of the class, and apparently I'm okay at public speaking. Oh good, you're gonna put me on the spot right when I get to class, huh? Me, I have full frames per second. I'll ask a question. I mean, I guess based on my behavior so far, I guess we could say collecting. I've collected quite a few. I bet you Mr. Jacques liked that one, though, because he's like, oh, collecting, so you like filling the Pokedex out, huh? Are you, like, blanking everybody else out of focus of the camera so I don't have to look at them in low frames per second? Because I can still see it. Actually, I just got here, Nimona, so I don't fully know what I want yet. I'm sure I'll figure it out as I go, but... Because I don't know if I want to be the strongest trainer. Like, I don't know if... I've done that a few other times in a few other games, and I don't know if that's me this time. Maybe I want to do other things with my life. Maybe catching Shadow Pokemon has made me feel like I have enough strength already. Not that I did that specifically in character with this character, but... You know. Is this a common thing, by the way? Because it happens in Persona 4 as well. When I say that, I mean second row from the front. Isn't that where most students sit in most of these Japanese role-playing games? Or is it... I mean, because I feel like in Persona 3 they do that, in Persona 4 they do that, they do it in this game. I don't know, I guess I'm just asking because maybe there's significance to it. And I mean, I wouldn't know. I've never been to Japan. I wouldn't know anything about the culture, so... Should see the cutscenes in history class. That hair. Yeah, I think I remember some of the cutscenes in history class. We will actually be taking classes in this playthrough, so we'll be able to see some of that stuff. So no, never mind. Oh, okay, it wasn't Wheelchair Kid. Maybe they're flown up here. Yeah, it's possible the Squawkabilly could fly them up here. Yeah, so that would make it a little more accessible. And there is a big enough space for it to kind of them to land. You know what I mean? So we live in a world with magic animals. There should be a fix to a problem. Maybe it's a trope. I don't know. Yeah, and that's true. They didn't do it in P5. They put him over by the window seat, yeah, in P5. So, although I think that was done because they wanted him to feel like he was ostracized in the universe, you know. So, yes, I want to talk to you. You were in 15 frames per second in the last cutscene. Are you okay? All of a sudden, you guys are at double your frame rate. What's even going on in this room? Is Giratina messing with time-space again? Thanks. I'm glad to be here, I think. Well, I mean, yeah, I know that. You're literally sitting where Joker sat, so you're probably the one getting the chalk thrown at all the time. Wonder if he has enough perception to dodge it. You're welcome. Thanks. I guess. Oh, the staff room? Okay, well, maybe she's busy. Class, I guess, has ended for the day now. We could go take classes right now, but we're going to wait to take classes for a little while because... we haven't unlocked all of the classes yet. There's still the extracurriculars we can unlock, like art and home ec, and I think there's one other one. I think it's the phys ed classes. Those are not unlocked yet, but the primary subjects, biology and math and social studies, or history rather, And then there's one other one. I forget what it is. Are unlocked at the moment. So we'll wait to take the classes until all of the class types are unlocked, and then we'll come back and take them. So, well, I said I was starving. I didn't go get food, so let's go to the cafeteria and see if I can get some food first before I do anything else. Never forget the fact that God lay with a random guy to make Satan time and space. Yeah, they don't really talk about that part of the Bible very much, do they? Hey, Arvin, what are you up to? Getting some food? Yeah, from the lighthouse. Sorry, I got a little mucus that just came up right then, and I can't get rid of it. There we go. Why is the whole school talking about me? I mean, what does that matter? Doesn't mean anything. It's not like I'm her best friend or anything. That's not going to happen till later, I think. You know what? Hang on. Before I do this, let me mute my microphone. I got to get this mucus out. Hold on. See, the trouble with the sickness, whatever I have, is it always feels like no matter how much of the mucus you get out, there's just that little teeny tiny bit that's left in there, and you just can't get rid of it. Sorry, that's probably graphic and gross, but like that's how I feel. So, okay, but before I help you, what dream are you talking about? I don't even know if I can help with it first. I guess. How else will I know if I can help? This is a surprise. You literally have a hiker's backpack, and you have both a camping water bottle and a frying pan in your backpack. Why would that be a shock, Arvin? It doesn't take a genius. Like, look, he's got a thermos and everything. Herba Mystica, huh? Sounds interesting. Okay. Sounds like some pretty strong herbs. Oh, so they're another gimmick item. Okay, fair enough. Titan Pokemon, huh? Well, those sound strong. Let me see. Whoa. Monsters of Area Zero, huh? As we descended further into Area Zero, we began to catch glimpses of mysterious Pokemon, though we wondered if these compact, cruel beasts were indeed Pokemon at all. Excuse me. One of our team suffered a brutal blow from such a beast and was mortally wounded, forcing us to retreat for a time. Wow, there's near death in Pokemon games? Holy hell. A member of the survey team captured this photograph by chance. I noticed a passing resemblance to the Pokemon known as Donphan, yet the differences such as its texture and the way it moves suggest it is biologically separate. That's biological? To say nothing of its treads of iron. That's some weird-looking Titan. How old is that book? Because that's like a robot. Oh, okay. I mean, you have Nimona. I guess she's not really your friend, though, huh? She'd probably be down for a challenge like this, though, because that's something new that she involves battling that she hasn't done before. I mean, I guess I could help. I'm not really great at battling myself yet, but, you know. Oh, okay. You don't have to tell me yes or no yet, but I will put these on your map so that you eventually have to go to them. So here's our first objective in the game, the Titan Pokemon layers. There's 5 of them, and they're of the types that you see on the screen there: rock, flying, steel, ground, and dragon. And that's the first quest line of the game, the Path of Legends. There are a total of 4 quest lines in the game. We'll get 3 of them shortly, including this one. Oh, okay. And we get some more Stardust for listening to Arvin's crazy story about these Titan Pokemon before he runs off. Okay, I guess. Bye. Titan Pokemon, huh? I don't know what he's expecting. It's not like I'm that great at battling yet either. What makes him think I can take on Pokemon that are 40 feet tall? Alright, who's in my party right now? Okay. This should be fine. Ma'am, I'm starving. What do you have? So, this is... I didn't show it when we were in Los Platos, but several screens on this game will have you picking out food items that you can purchase. So let's take a look at the ones that they have. Yeah, mortal, not fatal. Someone died? Not quite, no. Let's see here. The unrejectable being the rival's question. Bet that back has a back on his muscles. Yeah, he's got quite a lot of muscles there. Yeah, alright, goodbye everyone. I'll see you all again eventually. Something like that. Yeah, the weight of those backpacks is pretty high, so he's probably got quite a bit of muscle. So, yeah, no, almost, but not quite. Wasn't paying attention, thought someone died. Isn't there death in the manga? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's death in the manga. Although the manga itself is usually, it stays fairly separate from the actual in-universe. So, like, it's for a different audience. The manga, from my understanding, is for, you know, students that are, not students, but people who are a little bit older. So, or maybe it's just a Japan thing. I don't know. Pokemon Adventures does not pull its punches, but the Pokedex does have that's true, the Pokedex does have very dark stories in it, so. Nimona probably would be down to fight the Titans, to be honest. Every ghost type ever. Arvin would have recruited her if he put his own feelings of not liking her aside. Yeah, that would have probably helped him, but, well, he didn't do that. Pickle sandwich. People were petrified in the manga. Pokemon Adventures is wild. Yeah, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't pull its punches. It throws them. So we got a 5 alarm. That sounds very hot. Peanut butter sandwich. Well, there's nothing wrong with peanut butter. What else we got? A potato salad sandwich, pickle sandwich. Pickles are the only filling in this single-minded sandwich. Okay, and then an egg sandwich. I'm going to grab the potato salad sandwich because it has a very specific power in it that I would like to get out of this. So you'll get meal powers out of these meals. They're kind of like the O powers or the circle powers in the 3DS games, but, well, they're attached to sandwiches and stuff now instead of, you know, just a sliding scale that you can pull from. And now we get to watch the eating cutscene in this game. So I hope you're not sitting... I hope you're sitting down because you might be standing up by the time this is over with. We get to eat a JPEG of a potato salad sandwich. Not the actual potato salad sandwich, just a JPEG of it. But I guess everybody likes it, so fair enough. Why is the word? That's the only word I can come up with for this. Is what? Why? I think the starting town in Kalos was destroyed at the beginning of the arc in the manga, if you remember correctly. Wow, that's hardcore. That pickle sandwich was necessary for Sis because she sequence broke into Area 4 before she actually went to school. She started off OP. Yeah, I could see that being a thing that you'll need then. This one, like I said, has a power in it that I actually want, and that's Catching Power Rock. We probably don't need the boost to capture rates because I'll just get a surprise attack anyway, but I specifically want the rock type capture power for something we're going to be doing as soon as we finally get out of this school. You hacked my smartphone? You're just going to say that out loud? Who is this? Am I getting a spam call? I'm like 10. How did you get this number? Okay. I mean, I guess, but I don't know anything about you. What makes you think I'd even admit to any of that? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I go to UVA Academy. It's kind of hard not to know about Team Star. What do you mean, up front? Uh-huh. That's the impression I got, yeah. Oh, okay. So you're some kind of crusader, huh? I guess a hardcore crusader, because you want to take the whole team down. With Operation Starfall. I hope it doesn't hurt quite as badly as Emperor Medius' Starfall, because actually that did middle-of-the-road damage, all things considered, but, you know. Sure, why not? However, just like Arvin's options that he gave you, no need to reply to this one just this second. Sorry, I hit the pop filter there. We can discuss the details a different time. I just felt like hacking your phone right now. Bye! Well, that was bizarre. First day at school, and I've already had some really weird things happen to me. Maybe I should tell the director about this. Oh, yeah, sorry, sir. I'll make sure I don't put it on speaker next time. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, like a 10-year-old getting his smartphone hacked. All right, bye, director. I'll be in your office in a little bit because it's one of the only other places I have access to on this campus. Overhearing my personal information, huh? So anyway, that plops you back down in the lobby, and so now you can use the computer kiosks to go to different places. If there's an exclamation point, it means that there's an event that's happening in that room. So now in the staff room, for faculty members, we can run into Nimona. So let's go see if she's still in here. It's more of a, why is the potato salad on one side of the sandwich only? And you know, that's another thought. What were they thinking with that? Like, there's literally just like a couple of peppers on the other side. Sandwiches are cursed in this game. I don't know, I never go the first day. You know, fair. I know some people who go the first day and then never go again, honestly, so. Who is this lady, and how many bottles of hair gel does she have to go through per day in order to maintain that perm? Because holy ma'am. They probably, like, wrinkle out a, like, ream out a whole Starmie for you there. Like, good lord. Get the gel out of that one. How many Pukumuku went into her hair gel? That's... Who was that? La Primera, huh? I mean, she's got something coming out of her ears. I don't know if it's cool. It's probably hair. Are we sure she's not a werewolf? Like a Zoroark in disguise? I guess. Yeah, the one I didn't know. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know if I want to be the strongest trainer. You already are the strongest trainer. It's not exactly unique, Nimona. Yeah, but I can use it for other things. What if I want to become a nurse or something? Right, I figured that part. I don't really care about entertaining a crowd. I'm entertaining, according to my stats right now, 6 people. That's not exactly a crowd. You're not exactly making this sound appealing. You're just making this sound like something you'd want to do. Okay. So you've given me the details of how to do it, but you haven't told me why. This is literally the only part of this that's explaining why you'd want to do this. And again, you've already done this. I was gonna say, what's a treasure hunt? Independent study, okay. Well, it'll probably be a few hours before we get to that, so... Because I can't imagine, like I said, they'll just plop you out into the world and have you do that instead of actually taking some classes here. It would kind of make this whole school process feel like a lost cause. Uh-huh. If you didn't know, why did you stop treasure hunting? Probably because she was listless and didn't know what else to do with herself. So is this a means for you to get stronger, or are you using me right now, Nimona? I mean, I don't know how I appreciate that. Anyway, no need to answer just yet. Nimona will put the locations of the 8 gyms of Paldea on your map as well, so here are your 8 gyms. They are a little out of order on the list here. The bug-type gym is usually the first one. I should mention this because the world map in this game, it's an open world, but the challenges are not leveled with you. They aren't scaled. They are fixed levels, so you're pretty much expected to go into in a specific order. The way that I described the Titans before, where you go rock first, then flying, then steel, then ground, then dragon, that's the expected level order that you would go in. For the gyms, you're expected to go bug, then grass, then electric, then water, then normal, then then ghost, then psychic, and then ice. So, but that's the second quest line. Victory Road! Boy, that one seems familiar. As many as Sephiroth? Long legs, something like that, yeah. Ever figure out hair care? Think mid-back is still where you'll stop yours. Yeah, I mean, mid-back, I think at that point it's not like overly difficult to take care of, but it's still long enough to where there's still some to maintain, you know. Entertaining a crowd. Didn't realize we were going back to Galar. I feel like Galar just changed everything, didn't it? Because it was like, oh wow, there's just crowds. So now everyone in Paldea is like, we have to entertain a crowd. This is a tiny, like, this region by comparison to Galar doesn't really see much of a crowd situation. There's like a dozen people at the most in most of the events that you're at. All right, Conquer, take it easy. We'll see you at the next one. Just realized the funny teacher is standing at that bookcase. Yeah, open world, quote, unquote. Open world that has you on rails most of the time. Oh, PA system. Oh. I wonder what I did. I don't think I did anything wrong, so I guess I have nothing to fear, but since the director's the one calling me, we can see these professors later. A lot of the faculty members you'll see in classes are here right now, but the director needs me, so let's go. I might have just called him the professor, that's my bad. He's the director. Let's go see him, because it's probably more important than introducing myself to the teachers at the moment. So. Director, needed to see me? You're welcome. What's up? Yeah, I mean, it's been really weird sometimes, but so far it's been fun. I think it's almost 2 hours of stream and we're still not out of the tutorial. Nice. Yeah, we're almost there, but we're pretty much done with the tutorial now. Ghost and Ice are literally nearby. Why the actual hell would you go to the far north for the 6th gym, then the far south for the 7th, then back to the Ice Mountain for the 8th? Good question. No answer. Don't know. Why, is this a private conversation, or? Okay. A friend of yours? Where are they? They're not in your office, Director. Are they late for the meeting, or? Oh, okay. Guess they're gonna talk to me remotely. Let me connect us by not pressing any buttons. I'll connect us telepathically. That's not as unrealistic as it would be in other games because there's literally telepathy in this universe, so. I think I know that guy. Hi, nice to meet you. I was gonna say, you're the professor of the region, right? Yeah, this is Professor Turo. He has one heck of a chin line. Here comes the Crimson Chin. If he had, you know, a little cleft in the middle anyway. Oh, you're all the way in the Great Crater? It's not a wonder nobody can see you, unless you talk to them remotely. Oh, okay. Yeah, what's this all about? I didn't even know that, so are you reading that off a screen, or? Wow, news travels faster than I do, but yeah, I am. Well, I mean, he probably would have popped out of the Pokeball in a minute anyway. Okay. With what exactly? I'm surprised you're out. You didn't hear the magic word yet in this conversation. I guess we were talking about you, though. Well, I guess that means Miraidon knows the professor. Oh, that explains why. Okay. Yeah, Arvin gave it to me. What do you mean, manage? Why not just be his friend? I mean, I guess, if all you were doing was managing him, maybe I can give him a better life. Oh, man. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that explains why he can't come out of his Pokeball to help me fight if I get in a pinch. Not that I've been in a pinch yet. Okay. Well, I'll just wander around with him and we'll see what happens. How about that? Sure. Director, is the screen frozen? Because his mouth isn't moving, but he's talking to me. No, you see, the screen was a JPEG. They didn't want to program that part in either. I really hate how many cost-cutting measures I've seen just in the first 2 episodes of this stream. Or time-cutting measures. Well, maybe. There's something fishy going on here, and it sure as heck ain't cod. I just realized the funny teacher standing at that bookcase. Yeah, I think I checked that anyway a minute ago. When the holy moly hits the Giga Chad guy, is his collar billowing? Isn't he indoors? That's a good question. So, hi Max, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. No, not first Pokemon game. I have played Pokemon since Gen 1, so I have been around the block more than one times. But typically when I do streams of games, I play them candidly, and what I mean by that is I play them in such a way as if a person came in here and has not played the game, they will not be spoiled of anything in that game. So if it sounds like I'm playing dumb, it's because I am. So. I'll give it my best shot there, Director. Thanks. Well, I think that's all the events, so now we can try to head out. Oh, hey, Nimona. Yeah, what's up? Boy, that was what I was wondering before I got in here, but... yeah, it wasn't like that. Oh, okay. I get my own dorm room, and it's all to myself. How many students do they have here that they can afford to do that? Well, whatever. I guess I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. I feel like enrollment would make it so that a dorm room to yourself would not be common, but... there it is. Ta-ta-ta-chan! Oh, okay, cool. It's as bare as I expected a dorm room that hasn't been used yet to be. Although, I do have a full kitchen set up. That's more than most hotel rooms, so that's not bad. I mean, I guess. Yeah, but that would require me to go through 3 loading screens to get here when I could literally just walk up to a kiosk in the open world and not have to go through any loading screens. Okay, later. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. So that's the end of the prologue, right? So now we're going to get into, like, Chapter 1, where we go to some classes and we do some random, like, thing to, I don't know, push the story forward, right? I was going to say houseplant, but this is a fake tree. It's not even real. How am I supposed to fertilize a plastic tree? I've been ripped off. We gotta go find a real houseplant. I'm going to bed. Today's been too much of a pain. It's metal plated and has jet boosters. What do you think, Director? It's not exactly a biological creature. What are you doing, game? What do you mean the days quickly fly by? I have classes to go to. I have other events that you could do over the course of those few weeks that are flying by right now. There's a whole school to explore. There's new students to meet. What are you doing? Yeah, so the school setting is a setup. It's not real. They used it as like a plot device for a second, but you don't get to do anything in the school once you get there. Probably because the tutorial was long enough as it is, and they figured, well, if we make you do things in the school, most players will lose interest and they'll go home because they seem to think everyone has ADHD. So instead of doing that, we will now assemble in the schoolyard where we will be given free reign to go back out into the open world and do exactly what we were doing a few minutes ago before we got here. Only this time across the whole region. Why are you shouting? Like, look at all the things I've done. I've decorated my shelves. I have textbooks on my table. There's studying papers there. Like, the plant is still alive because it's made of plastic. I literally haven't fed it because I haven't had a chance to go out to the school store to get fertilizer, and it's still alive, which, again, tells me it's not real. Wonder if I have any dishes in the sink that need to get done before this happens. There's stuff on the wall for me to remember, chart-wise. I don't remember if this towel was here, but I think it's being dried right now rather than hanging it right here. So this room has been used, but there was a time skip, so we don't get to see how this room was used in that time period. The setting just doesn't feel like... I'm just wondering why they would do this, right? Like, they'd give you this setting that's potentially novel for a Pokemon game, because you've never been to a school in an official Pokemon game before. You go to the trainer's school, but that's about it. And then they just skip all of this. What was the point? I don't understand. So, a lot of lost children to Drifloon, so the extra rooms to spare. Yeah. Yeah, there's too many Drifloon. They seem to like just carrying people off. How did you get it? I thought I locked the door. I guess not. Or maybe I'm an expert locksmith. I've been playing Oblivion Remastered off the stream. I do have a skill currently that lets me set my lockpicking to 100 in that game for 2 seconds so that I never failed lockpicking minigame. So I thought it would make it so I would never level up my lockpicking, but that's not true, so. Okay, so the announcement is the treasure hunt is back on. Independent study time. You can learn from all of these professors here, but instead of that, why not travel the open world that we built for you? Actually, I haven't learned anything. I literally just got here and you skipped over the 3 weeks that I've been here. I don't even think I've been home. Did I even call my parent in this time period? I don't know if I want to go exploring over there. The frame rate tends to dip down into the single digits over there. That being said, there are Tropius over there, so it can't be that bad. Yeah, we'll see what we can manage out in the open world there. Something like that. I look so mischievous in that picture. Like I'm ready to get into some real, like, misadventures here. I suppose. Are you sure you should be letting some of these students run around in the open world? Aren't there, like, level 55 Pokemon in some of these places? Most of these people are, like, old enough where it won't matter too much, but some of those kids are, like, 6. Are we sure they should be going out to places like Casseroya Lake? Or the Sokarat Trail? Anyway, yeah, like I said, they skipped over the school stuff, so now we get to go back out into the open world. Toma, yeah! Do we ever get to see Cyclizar in its cycle form? Because this girl just says they're riding out, and then it cuts the camera back to direct to Clavel, and now when we go back here, she's gonna be gone. Yeah. So I'm just, like, do we get to see it in its cycle form and, like, a bike place at one? I think there's bike racks, quote unquote, at certain Pokemon kiosks, and maybe we get to see it over there? But I could be wrong about that. But Cyclizar is like the present day version of Miraidon. It's not the mechanical looking version, so. Probably not, Director. You probably should have said it before we all left the auditorium today. Or not the auditorium, the recess area, whatever it's called. Well, we're all full of vim and vigor, so I understand that you might be worried, but if you love your students, let them go. You did say that this would be a good idea, after all. What's up, Nimona? Sorry, I was checking chat real quick. So, what are we supposed to do with this exactly? You said it was independent study, but what does that mean? Like, yeah, what am I supposed to do? Am I being graded for this? Okay. I mean, we could go looking for treasure, though, if we want to, right? I've literally already done that Assassin's Creed-wise on the roofs in Mesagoza. So. Okay, well, at least I'm not limited by the idea of you have to do the gym challenge, because, again, I'm not sure if I'm super keen on that just yet. I kind of just liked wandering around the wilderness. Well, fair enough. I mean, I guess, yeah, if that's what your bag is, then you might as well just accentuate it. I guess I'll be ready. Yeah, I'll try to make sure my Pokemon are healed up enough. Yeah, so just like most maps in most open-world video games, you can set a destination, including, like, placing a pin down in a different random spot in the open world. So if you want to go to a certain place, you could always do that. Of course, most of the time, the open world isn't, like, so large where you'll get lost. And it's not, like, you've got a little mini-map in the corner as well, so that kind of helps you get your bearings. Is that considered an insider advantage, telling people you can stick a pin in your smartphone map? Because I don't feel like that's uncommon knowledge. I guess she did specifically say, check the gyms out, because I want you to do the gym challenge so you can be strong enough to battle me. I mean, I could do both at the same time, I suppose. En serio? Yeah, I was gonna say, worst comes to worst, we just find some giant Pokemon and we all have to fight them together, right? Like, that's no big deal. Oh, sorry, my phone. This might be Mom, so let me check it. Haven't talked to her in weeks. Hello? Oh, hey, Cassiopeia. What's up? Are you sure you want to be discussing this on speaker in a public place? Because I'm in a public place right now. Isn't this supposed to be top secret? Okay, I guess you're just gonna ignore me. That's fine. You know, you had 3 weeks to tell me this. You could have told me this, like, I don't know, after classes ended, when I was in my room by myself, at any point in time other than literally right now, where all of my friends can hear this. Just saying. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, the Pokemon types that have been represented by the Titans and the gym leaders, they're all unique to each Titan or gym leader. They don't overlap with one another. And if you add in the types of the Team Star crews, you get all 18 of the types in the game. So, and just like the other objectives, she's going to add these 5 locations for us. Dark Crew, Fire Crew, Poison Crew, Fairy Crew, and Fighting Crew. Although those are not their names out in the world. They have weird made-up language names instead of those crew names. For the third quest line, Starfall Street. Oh, okay, well, at least I guess we get some rewards for doing that. See, this is why I said don't call me on in a public space. It's a bit of a problem. I feel like the treasure hunt's a cool idea on paper. In reality, releasing your student body to basically just discover the world when most of them are children is legal issues waiting to happen. Yeah, it's a good thing this is a Pokemon world and all of those legal issues and problems will just right themselves before they become a problem, but like... yeah, I could see it being a bit of a liability that some people wouldn't like. Oh wow, you guys better be careful. Cassiopeia knows both of your names, and she knows how to hack my phone. Alright, bye Cassiopeia. I'll tell you guys about it later. I mean, I think I'm already knee-deep in it, Nimona. I don't think there's much I can do about it. Okay. I mean, if that's what you think, then keep doing it. She is really, really jonesing for me to do this gym challenge. Not only is she telling me how to mark them on the map, but she's also literally sending me a picture of what the building looks like. Not that you can miss it. Look at how gigantic it is. Yeah, I know that part. And that's why I'm gonna just wander around and do other things. Other than what you're telling me to do. You want to finish that first sentence, Arvin? Or... okay, fair enough. Oh, you said the magic word. I heard sandwich. Because he heard sandwich. Yes, he wants sandwich. Don't tell him that. He has digital puppy dog eyes. He will literally follow you to the ends of the earth for a sandwich. Well, yeah, he's probably just as hungry as I am. I don't know what we've eaten in the last 3 weeks. I really hope that sandwich I ate back in the cafeteria is still on by the time we're done with all this stuff. Well, anyway, by pressing the plus button out in the overworld, you can ride on Miraidon. And he turns into an electrical motorcycle when you do that. So now, if you wanted to go get that nugget that I got on foot before, and you want to actually get out of there without having to fast travel, you can do that by having Miraidon jump over there. So, and then jump over the railing. Yeah, exactly. I get a fancy motorcycle. You guys have to wander there on foot. Unfortunately, you don't get any other riding Pokemon in this game, which means that this is another thing that this game has that was done in Let's Go that this game is directly inferior to. I really wouldn't mind riding around on either an Arcanine or a Mudsdale. To be quite honest, there's quite a lot of Pokemon that you could just ride around on in this game, but nope, just gotta ride on Miraidon. Alright, later, Nimona. Sandwich-powered motorcycle. Yeah, I love when the legendary is a random kid's bike. Yeah, it's a story choice. Anyway, the treasure hunt has begun. We're out of the tutorial. We have been left to our own devices. We can finally go and... That was the other sticker. It was a Drifloon sticker. How did I know that? Because there's a Drifloon balloon over here, and that reminded me. But yes, we're left to our own devices now, so we can go whichever way we want to go. There's mass outbreaks. There's Terra Pokemon all over the place. It's a fun time, so let's go save, first of all, and then see what we can find out there. So we could go either west or east out of the gates. If we go south, we can go to a couple of places, but most of what is out there is stuff we've already seen, or stuff that we can't access yet because Miraidon is not quite strong enough to actually do the field moves we need in order to, well, get to where we need to go. He can't exactly climb cliffs yet. So, now, with that being said, here's if you go to the west, you'll run into, the first thing you'll run into is Cortando, which is where the bug gym is. And if you go east, probably the first thing you'll run into is the Rock Titan. So I have a team member for the gym challenge out to the west, and the actual objective out to the east that I want to go get to. Since we're not doing the gym challenge right away, we're going to go east first. I feel like most people probably go west first, and you get a message from Nimona if you go that way, but if you go to the east gate, you get a message from Arvin, who kind of just tells you the same sorts of things Nimona tells you. So, excuse me. So let's go out to the east. Did I get a restoration? I'm pretty sure I had to, right? Because you got bit in that one battle. Yeah, I did. Okay. Cool. So I don't need to heal. So let's just go out the east gate. Oh, or I could get a phone call first. Hey, Arvin, what's up? I don't remember giving you this number, but... Oh, no, I did. I think we exchanged numbers back in the cafeteria. Never mind. My bad. Yeah, I'm setting out east. Hopefully I still have that power, the catching power. If not, it's not a big deal. We'll catch something anyway, but... Oh, okay. Yeah, probably they don't want you to go to the east first because it's like a bunch of cliffs that you, if you fall down into them, you can't get back up readily without just wandering around a little bit. So you could just do that, I guess, if you want to get out of there. But we'll try to do it a different way where we don't get super lost. Right on a Rapidash. It's so iconic. Yeah, there's that too. Oh, wow, I thought you were going to stop here. Cool. Yeah, no, not quite. We're only 2 hours and 15 minutes in, so we'll keep going. We still have some pieces to line up after all. And if we get the Stony Cliff Titan done today, then at least I can say I did something. Rather than just tutorial stuff. I don't know if we'll get the Stony Cliff Titan done today, though, because my plan is to come out here, see if I still have that capture power up, which I think is right. Yeah, it is. Oh, it's about to run out. Oh my god. Okay. Let's make this quick then. I think as long as you get into a battle, I think it still lasts, so... Oh, I actually need to do something. Hold on, let's see if I can do this quickly enough to where it'll still stick around. I need the male Ralts with Trace. Do this, whoop, this. Switch you up here. There we go. And then... Surprise attack, you. Okay. I might have gotten that in where there's still capture power, but I'm not sure. Anyway, there's a wild Knackley out here. This is not the correct one. The reason why I wanted to have a Ralts with the Trace ability is because Ralts can then tell me what Knackley's ability is. In this case, sorry, in this case, Knackley's ability is Purifying Salt, which is a new ability that was introduced with this Pokemon. That's not the ability that I want it to have, though. So, we're actually just going to send out something that can, well, run away, and then we'll run away, because I want a different Knackley. But this is why I wanted to get a surprise attack, so that way if I have to send something else out, it doesn't matter. I can just send something else out and go from there. Ooh, that's a Rookity. I want to stay away from that. That's aggressive. So yeah, so we're going to look around, see if we can find a Knackley. I almost just ran into that Rookity. Oh yeah, and I guess there's Pokédolls as well. So Pokédolls allow you to... Whoop, I ran into that Rookity. Pokédolls allow you to run away from a Pokemon without having to have higher speed than that Pokemon, so... Well, this is why I didn't want to run into Rookities, because now I have to watch the unnerve message go up 3 times. I suppose I could catch the Rookity as well, but... You know what, Ralts? Maybe you're faster than a level 8 Rookity. No, you're not. Okay. I'll just use a Pokédoll, the one that we just got. How do you feel about getting a doll instead? I probably should have bought a few actually before we left, so that way if I'm just wandering around with Ralts here, if I run into something by accident, I don't have to like keep switching around. But yeah, so that's the objective right now, is look for a Nacali with the ability that it has that is not Purifying Salt. Usually you can find Nacali out on the rocks, like this one's out on the rocks. And actually this one's level 10, so that's a little closer to what I was hoping to get. Let's see if I can get behind it. There we go. You don't need to be crouching, by the way, in order to get a surprise attack. You just need to hit the Pokemon in the back with the Pokeball. So, there we go. That's what we're looking for. The Sturdy ability. So, Sturdy, since Gen 5, anyway, the Sturdy ability means that the Pokemon cannot be knocked out in one hit, no matter what move it's hit with. It could be hit with a one-hit KO move. It could be hit with a super effective move. Anything. Doesn't matter. It will not be knocked out in one hit. I don't think I want to leave Ralts in on this, actually. What do I want to bring in for this? I guess Diglett, because he's got resistance. Not that the resistance is going to help much. Diglett has, like, -3 defense, but, you know. But this Nacali is absolutely vital to my plans. And you will see why in a little bit. First, we have to raise it a little bit, though, so... Okay, well, that's not going to do a whole lot. Phew! And that's going to do a little bit. Although it's not very effective. Let's see how much Rock Blast does. Probably if we get a few hits here. I just want to bring it below half HP. And that should be good enough. And then we can go chat up the Picnicker that was over by the gate. Because the Picnicker at the gate is not only a fly point, but also will fully heal your Pokemon. Along with giving you some ingredients. Because you can get ingredients for picnics in this game. So I was going to say, I wonder how much this is going to do if I did 5 hits. But looks like it should be okay. Going for gold, Diglett? Going for gold. Weakening it down to the point where it should be a fairly... I don't know if it's going to be a free capture, but we should have a pretty good chance with this. So especially with us getting hitting her in the back. So. Okay. We have acquired the lady. The lady that will do everything we need her to do. We have the princess already. Here's her knight. So now, Nacali, of course, is based on NaCl, salt, sodium chloride, right? But I figure we already have a Pokemon that has a name that starts with N, because we have Natalie, Princess Nate. So, since that's the case, let's name this one after a different type of salt. Kali, because potassium is a K on the periodic table because it used to be called Kalium. A salty boy, yes indeed. We have the salt. We have acquired the salt. So now we just have to use the salt for its most important purpose. Okay, so now that we have acquired the salt, Interceptor, you can go over here for now. Let's bring the salt into the party. Thank you for your assistance, Ralts. That's all I'll need from you. I guess I could just leave everybody else in the party. Really, the only ones that are going to be doing any fighting from now until, like, the rest of this time are going to be Flamigo and Kali. But since the rest of them... I mean, I guess we could use a little experience on Aerokuda and Diglett. And Hoppip and the Princess have literally just been along for the ride since the beginning, so we might as well hang on to them, you know. So... But now that we have done that, the goal now is going to be to raise Kali and Flamigo up to level 16? I think it's 16. And we're going to want to try to do that as quickly as we possibly can. I guess we don't have to do it as quickly as humanly possible, but I'm going to try to do it as quickly as humanly possible, so... Well, sure, I'll take some off your hands. You went and bought a pickle and egg sandwich ingredients? That doesn't sound very appetizing. But I guess I could kick back. It'll give me a restoration point, so... Okay, thanks for the help. But yeah, you can actually... And I think it's not this point, actually. I think it's literally just the east gate that you can fly to. But you could always fly back here and have... There's a Slackoth in the area? I don't think so. I think you're lying to me. Slackoth is a myth in this game. It barely ever shows up. And I think if it does show up, it only ever shows up in trees. Which means this Slackoth that it's showing being here is probably, like, here. Instead of where it's telling me it is. Because Slackoth is very, very rare from my understanding in this game. So I think you're lying to me, game. I was going to say, I'm about to look down there and there's Slackoth is going to be, so... I was going to go back to the South Province Area 1 to work on raising my Pokemon, but I think, honestly, it might be better to just have Flamigo kick some butt over here in the South Province Area 3, because the Pokemon here are just at a higher level, and if we can have Flamigo do some butt kicking here, it'll probably just be better to do it that way. Before we do any kicking, though, let's get some items on our Pokemon. So let's give you the Power Bracer. And then I'm going to give the Power Belt to Callie. She wants more defense, not more HP. Keep that in mind. You do not want your Nacli to get more HP. So don't give her the Power Weight, which I think is the one that gives HP. You want her to have more defense rather than more HP. Her special defense doesn't matter, but she's really good at physical defense. So get her more physical defense. Makahita, you'll do. If you survive, I'll catch you. I'm probably going to fall off this cliff right after this battle, but there's a couple of items down there, so it shouldn't be a huge deal. Salty Golem, Sodium Nom Nom. I can probably pack. This Makahita will probably survive. Makahita's got a lot of HP. Not much defense, but a lot of... Okay, never mind. We'll come back for a Makahita. And actually, probably it would be better for me to have Nacli kind of pop into the party. But... it's not super required. The main thing that we want to do right now is we do want Nacli to gain levels. But the main thing that we want to do is have Flamigo gain levels for a little bit. So that way Flamigo gets... I think I said I want Nacli to get to level 16. And that is true. I do want that eventually. But I think the main thing right now would be to get Flamigo to 16. And then we can... whoop, excuse me, Spoink. And then we can go from there. There we go. Well, that'd probably sell for a decent chunk, but I could probably use that PowerPoint up for more useful things later, so I probably won't sell it. Where's the... no, there's a Charcadet over here. I guess I could go for that, too. See if we can catch it. If it turns around enough. Oops. Nope. I shouldn't have stopped sneaking. No. Yeah, that poor guy. I just annihilated him. This Charcadet will probably survive a little longer. Could I double kick you? I could probably double kick you and get away with it. Or I could flinch. Okay, I didn't flinch. Yeah, we can double kick and get away with it. I'm going to switch Nacli in because this Charcadet's level 13, so it'll probably give some good experience, actually. And then we can catch it. Now, for every every Pokemon we're beating, we're getting some EVs on Flamigo and... sorry, Nacli. So... the process of getting those EVs will help them a little later. It's more so for Flamigo, honestly, than it is for Nacli. But again, with Nacli, the one thing that I'm specifically trying to avoid is getting her too many HP EVs. That is another critical thing. It's a piece to the puzzle here. So, oh, this is what I get for not getting the, whatchamacallit, the preemptive strike. Well, I guess I could throw a Great Ball. I've got a few of those. I wonder if we're going to evolve this Charcadet later, because you need to do some special things in order to evolve Charcadet in this game, but I suppose we should have the means by which to evolve it, so... yeah, as you can see, without the preemptive strike, catch rates are a little lower than they were back in the tutorial. Things are almost guaranteed over there. Here, not so much. But good experience, so I'll take it. Oh good, now you're getting Wing Attack instead of Peck. So as if you weren't strong enough already, here's two really strong stab moves and Double Kick and Wing Attack. Alright, cool. I figured I'd just catch Charcadet while I was over here because why not? There are certain, like, usually along the cliffs here in South Province Area 3 are where you can find Charcadet, so I figured I'd just catch it while I'm over here, so... and with that, we've actually collected 30 entries in our Pokedex, so we can claim another reward. So let's do that. Why not? we can grab that Thunderstone that we mentioned before. Now, ideally, what you want to do is you want to try to get up to 40 entries by the time you're ready to go back to the school and take some classes. So that's what we're going to try to do, is we're going to try to get up to 40 entries before I go back and take classes. We'll see if it works out. Did I arrange Callie's moves? Oh. Let me see. No, I didn't. Okay. Let's arrange the moves then a little bit. Actually, I'm going to stick SmackDown up top, because SmackDown is a... Yeah, I was going to say, it's not... It is 100% accurate, right? Excuse me. It is. It's an 100% accurate Rock-type move, which is surprisingly hard to come by, so we'll stick that up top. We'll use something else later. Oh, and I think, if I remember correctly, yeah, you can press the L button, and it will show you the EV spread that you've been getting on your Pokemon over time. So, like, we've gotten some attack EVs already on Flamigo, and we've gotten some defense EVs on Nacali. So it'll show you your EV spread by pressing the L button there. Now, the Pokemon over here are worth okay experience, but not great experience. If we want to get to level 16 a little faster, we got to venture a little further up the road, so let's do that, shall we? A Floatstone, that'll sell for some money. No, but really, where is that? Oh, that's where it is. Okay, I was going to say, where is that spot that I was thinking of? It's right over here. Grab this. Another experience candy for Spewpa. Ooh, hi, Shinx. I was probably pretty close to it a minute ago. That's another Happiny over there. I could go grab that for some experience. If you go up here, you get early access to Flash Cannon, a Steel-type move with 80 base power this early in the game. That's a lot, and it's very useful for what we're going to be fighting in a little bit. So, yeah, there you go. You're level 9. I mean, that's okay. Now, go away, Rickety. Go pass out. Good night, all. All right, sounds like a plan, Marie. We will see you on the next one. Just going to set some stuff up today. We might fight the Stony Cliff Titan as well. Depends on how much time I have and whether I get to level 16 in a reasonable amount of time here. Once I actually get to where I'm going, we might get there pretty quickly, but we'll let you know next time. Till then, see ya. Oh, it's a good thing I switched out then. I don't want to get confused. But this will get Callie the full experience out of this, and then we can go from there. Really, honestly, I only need to get Callie up to about level 14, because at that point she should be strong enough to where she can take on the other Pokemon that we're going to be fighting for quick EXP coming up. So, you might be wondering, why do you want to get quick EXP? Don't you want to do things in level order? No. I'm confused again. This is what I get for putting on the Power Bracer. Oh well. We'll figure it out. Just fight through it, Flamigo. It's fine. There you go. See? Nothing to it. And honestly, that was a level 9 Happiny, so I don't know how much experience it's really going to get us relative to what we would be getting down the road. I guess that's a good chunk, though. So, alright, let's get the heck out of here before these Rookity eat me alive. We won't be fighting any of the trainers for right now. I'm going to reserve the trainer experience for the gym challenge, basically. But we will pick up some of the items along the road. If nothing else, some of them can be sold for a decent chunk of money, and we will still need some money where we're going. So, like I said before, those floatstones will sell for a good chunk as well, so... Or that one floatstone, rather. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why I don't use that feature. Now, there's an ominous-looking glowing stake or something over there. We could go grab it right now, but I'm going to hold off on hitting that until a little bit later in the game. When we're actually looking for those, that's when we'll hit them, you know. So, there's a Metal Claw TM over there. Next to that Charcadet. And here's the Pokemon Center for Area 3. This is Area 3 of the South Province is where we're at. I should have mentioned that before. But, yeah, that's where we're at. Do a little healing. Team has a lot of brown colors in it. That's fine. Oh, okay, a DLC tip. Sure. Oh, okay, so if you want to get better pictures, you can always press in on the left stick and the Pokemon will stand still, I guess. There's the mucus again, sorry. Ugh, it won't get out of my head. Hang on. Better to get it out than for it to stay in, but good lord, sometimes it doesn't want to come out even though it's stuck in there. It's still in there a little bit. Well, let's sell a few things while we're here. Do I want to sell the revives? No, not really. I don't need these soda pops, though. Oh, you know what I do need to go get, though? I almost forgot. I need to go back to Mesagoza, because I need to go use the vending machine. We need to get a certain amount of lemonades before we do any of this stuff. I mean, I guess we don't need to do it for the Stony Cliff Titan, but for some of the other stuff, we definitely do. So, let's see. Everything else here should be good. We'll sell the Stardust we got. I'm not going to use these food ingredients, except for the ham. I will hold on to the ham, because we will use that. I'm also not going to use these red flags, so I'm going to get rid of those too, just for a little extra cash. There we go. And I think that's about it. I don't really... I guess I could buy a couple of Poké Dolls, but I'll just buy 5. That's fine. You never know, there might be a situation where we might want to have those in a minute here. Alright, but what have we been doing this whole time? What has this been moving up to? Well, as we move up here, I think we're gonna, get a cutscene here in a second. Once we get this cutscene, it'll be Arven letting us know the Stony Cliff Titan is somewhere up ahead. Well, you could have just used your map app. It literally points directly to it. What do you mean it's impossible? Didn't you say it becomes one with the rocks? Okay. But yeah, we can literally just mark the Stony Cliff Titan on the map. However, the Stony Cliff Titan is not our destination just yet. It will be in a few minutes. By the way, there's Gimme Ghouls up on the sign. Like, there's Gimme Ghouls all over the place. They're up on signs and everything like that. I'm not going to mess with them just yet. We can mess with other ones that give us more coins. Usually the ones up on the signs and stuff give you, like, 1 coin. So. Also, there's a crystal that we just passed up, or a crystal cluster. This is considered a Terra crystal, and it leads to a Terra den, which will allow you to do a raid battle with the Terra Pokemon inside. And what it'll do is it'll tell you... Sorry. It'll tell you... There we go. It'll give you a silhouette of the Pokemon, and it'll tell you what Terra type it has. And once you see the silhouette, you can either you know what it is or you don't. In this case, it's a Sunkern, and it has the Terra Poison type. So if we were to catch this Sunkern, its Terra type would be Poison, and if we Terrastalize it in battle, it would be the Poison type. You could challenge as a group, but that requires online. You could change your Pokemon out, or you could challenge this alone, and 3 NPCs will help you with it. You can usually get away with challenging a Pokemon alone up to about 3-star raids. After that, you pretty much a group setting is pretty much how you want to do it, which is probably why I don't do this very often, if I'm honest with you. Because after you don't get 3-star raids until later. I think you need a certain number of badges in order to get them, but beyond a certain point, it's really hard to do that just on your own, and since I don't have Nintendo Switch Online, it is problematic. So, make a long jump bike trick down the cliff. Could in fact do that, yeah. Alright, Hermie, thanks for sticking around. Shift just ended, clocking out. All the best luck on your Pokemon adventures. Yeah, thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it. We'll let you know how it goes. So just hop on down. And actually, I'm not going to hop all the way down the cliff because my prey has been spotted. If you want to get large amounts of experience in this game, one of the best ways to do it with wild Pokemon specifically is to find Pokemon that do not evolve, because they typically give a very large sum of experience. This guy in front of me, this goofy-looking goober of a crab, is a not evolving Pokemon that gives a very large amount of experience. So, and if we can get a surprise attack, we can get a couple of double kicks off before Cloth even knows what hit it. So let's do just that, shall we? Now we have the Power Bracer on, so we're going to be slower than it, so I got to be a little careful. But we should be okay. There is also that. Yeah, so Cloth has an ability called Anger Shell, where, if I remember correctly, if you lower its HP below half, it basically gets a miniature Shell Smash, which means it gets +1 attack, special attack, and... Can I use Copycat? Does that have priority? I forget. I don't think it has priority, actually. I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to do this and get one. Ow. But yeah, so it gets a little mini Shell Smash, which can cause a beating. As you can see, Flamingo took half of its HP there. But we got Cloth, and we get 400 experience from that level 13 Cloth. That was a Cloth at level with me, which means we'd get even more if the Cloth was a little higher level. And Diglett finally gets a ground-type move. It's unfortunately Mud Slap, but that, surprisingly enough, will come in handy for exactly one thing later on. Just get rid of Sand Attack. Mud Slap does the same thing, only it does damage, so... Looks like he's dancing, lonely, lonely, and guess you're lonely. Yeah, it says there's couple other people lurking, but maybe just not chatting, that's all. Actually, I'm one of those three that it shows on my screen, so it's you, me, and one other person. So, there you go. Alright, so you're about a level and a half away, so we just need to find a few more Cloth. We'll get Cloth Claws from defeating them as well, which I think might sell for a decent amount, but they're also used in a lot of recipes, so, you know, that... is probably something worth considering. You know what else is worth considering? There they are. One of my favorite grass types of all time. Shinx is also pretty cool, but Skiddo and Go-Goat are just like a comfort zone Pokemon for me. Every game that I could have used a Skiddo/Go-Goat in, I have used a Skiddo/Go-Goat. It's just a wonderful little Pokemon. This shouldn't KO, you're pretty tanky. Literally the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. So we're going to capture this Skiddo because, of course we are. If I didn't, it would be a crime. A sacrilege, even. This was probably the Pokemon that I was a little bit, like, the most upset about not using in this playthrough, but I did use it in my first run through this game, like the full run that I did of this game, so I'm not super upset by not using it. I got my chance to use it, just not on screen. It would have been nice if I could have used it, but, well, there's another Pokemon in this game that very much resembles Houseplant, and of course, since Houseplant is a meme that has recurred on this channel, I have to use it instead. So, if I wanted to use the GOAT, I would have had to use the GOAT and the other grass type that I'm planning on using. But we can still catch Skiddo. Heck, we might even be able to bring Skiddo along for the ride. I might put Skiddo into the party instead of Hoppip, honestly. Because, I mean, Hoppip's cool and all, but Hoppip ain't got nothing on Skiddo. Yeah, I'm going to bring Skiddo in. It's the same level as Hoppip, so we're not really losing anything by it. Alright, let's put you over there. I want to keep Interceptor near the back of the pack here, because then he can stay in with all these other people, but at the same time I can also pull him out fairly easily without, like, putting everything in the middle, you know? Do I want Diglett to be a higher level? Let me think about this. I think so, and I kind of want Aerocuda to keep getting passive experience. I'd like Spupa to get to level 12, but it's not really necessary because all that's going to happen is it's going to evolve, so I think we can do that later. Right now, the only thing I'm really concerned about is getting Flamigo to, well, where Flamigo needs to go. So. Yeah, the houseplant I was given in my room is plastic in this timeline, but we can find a houseplant that is not plastic. We can find a houseplant that is all natural instead. And I would far prefer that. So that's what we're going to look for. But for now, we're looking for more Cloth. I probably need about probably 3 more Cloth in order to get to level 16. So, I mean, I could use this rare candy, but nah. Ah, 2 more Cloth, just like that. Ask and you shall receive, even. I should probably throw a Pokeball at the one that's running away from me, but I might venture too close to the other one. Ooh, had it. Oh, there we go. Oh, nope. There we go. Got it! The other one noticed me, but that's fine. I should be out of its way enough. I just hope I don't, like, bite it by being at 24 HP while I'm trying to do this. I guess Skiddo's here, so Skiddo could save me if need be. Alright, maybe this won't take you under half. No, it'll take you to exactly half, so Anger Shell will probably activate if you have it. Yeah. Okay, well, that's a shame, but we might be okay. If we're not, we'll have to revive Flamigo, but, you know. There is a heal point, like, literally right next to these Cloth, though, so I shouldn't really be... You know what I could do, though? I could throw a Great Ball at it. We'll still get the experience if I manage to catch this thing. Oh, and it's a critical capture. Nice. And it clicked in, so good. Just because you get a critical capture doesn't mean you caught it, I think, but we did catch it, so that's the important part. Yeah, Flamigo doesn't even need one more cloth. We got 505 experience from that one battle. Oh my lord. Alright, who's getting focus energy? You're getting it. Okay. Do I want it instead of copy? I think I kind of want to keep copycat and detect, honest. Oh my god, I just looked at my attack stat. 45 attack? God. Alright, and Natalie's getting incinerate, so we can get rid of Ember for that. What level are you now, Natalie? 15? Okay, I gotta be careful. I guess you have an Everstone, so you're never gonna evolve into your other form, but, you know. Still don't want to invite that on myself. Be right back. Alright, sounds like a plan. I'll be here. We should definitely have enough to take on the Stony Cliff Titan, so hopefully we'll be back by the time we take it on. So, alright, let's get the heck away from that cloth. Oh, it stopped noticing me. Okay, cool. I don't want to raise you too much, because if I get you too much experience now, you'll get to level 17 before we're done with the Stony Cliff Titan fight. So I guess we'll just fight that Nacali over there, because it's right next to the heal point. Oh wow, I still got a surprise attack. Cool. Alright, double kick it, and then we'll head on to where our next destination is. I can probably take the Power Bracer off now, actually, because I won't need Flamigo to have any more attack than it's already got. He's already got from now on, so I can just reserve that Power Bracer for somebody who needs it, like Interceptor, in a little while. How's your defense doing? Good, good. 29 defense, not bad. Basically, so here's the idea. We don't want Callie to have more than 70 HP by the time she reaches level 27, I think it is, if I remember correctly. Oh, look at Rockruff. This guy's got good taste. Get some more ingredients, more ham that I'll probably only ever use 10 of. I think the mayo we could use, though. Yeah, probably a good idea. I don't want the walls to move in and close in on me like a demon wall or something. Okay, so we fully healed ourselves. We've got everybody ready to go. I'm literally just going to leave everybody in the back, honestly, and just let Flamigo run the show here. So let's head straight over to the Stony Cliff Titan, and we'll close out our adventure today with that as our first thing to do. I think if I go this way, I can get there faster. No, I think actually... Well, I guess I could go that way. No, I'd have to climb up a ladder. Never mind. I think I can go that way and do it, but no. I gotta go back up this hill. I went to the left a little too early. Oh, there's a lemonade. Maybe that'll remind me. Oh! I guess the Stony Cliff Titan's just a big cloth, huh? Where do you think you're going? What a big drip. There was a Growlithe right here. It literally got despawned because of the Stony Cliff Titan. What a ripoff. And we'll come back for that. Here's a rare bone for quite a bit of money when you sell it. And I missed because I'm jumping slightly not long enough yet. That's okay. We'll be able to fix that soon enough. Oops, missed this. An Ultra Ball. A Spoink that we can capture later. A Max Ether. And whatever this is, and then we'll head up. Full heal. Okay. Cool. Oop, hi Skiddo. Oh, there's that Growlithe. Actually, Skiddo, I don't need any experience. It's nice to meet you, though. You can always cheer me on when I go up the hill in a second. Because I'm going to need the moral support for this one. Alright. Do I have you cornered now? Do I have your attention? Oh my god. I was going to say, do I have your attention? But then its eyeballs went to, well, that would be the back of my head. Don't think I like that. Alright, let's see what you've got. So here's the Stony Cliff Titan. It's a giant cloth. Flamigo, you know what to do. So we'll keep Flamigo healed up as needed, but pretty much double kick a few of them. As a matter of fact, 2 of them will get the job done. So that's what we'll do. And with the power bracer off, well, this might be a bit of a problem, but, you know, it should be fine. We took 13 on that last Vice Grip. A Rock Tomb would do probably 18, so now it'll do about 26. Should be okay. Oh, it's a Rock Smash anyway. We're resistant to that. We didn't even get a defense drop. You're going to have to do better than that, Cloth. Huh, its HP bar didn't go down that last time. Yeah, because the battle is a two-phase fight. Once you get it down low enough on HP, it will retreat back down to the bottom of the cliff. So before you head back down there, it might be worth it to top your party off if you got a little hurt from that. So that's what we're going to do. I think you do get experience from that battle, though. Let me see. No, I guess not, because I think that's about where we were. You'll get experience from the next one, though. So let's go, and we'll get the experience from the next one by hopping on down here. So what are you planning down here? Oh. Well, that's more of a boulder smash than a rock smash, but sure, why not? Oh, wonder if that's one of those Herba Mystica that Arvin was talking about. It's a pretty big herb. Yeah, I guess I did. Well, this one makes it its business. Probably. It's a good thing I've got an ace in the hole for this one. Pink power, huh? Let's see if your pink power is enough to stop my pink flamingo. So Arvin is now going to help you fight the Stony Cliff Titan 2-on-1 with his Shelter. As you can see, level 16, so that means the Cloth is level 16. Whatever level Arvin's Pokemon is the same level as the Titan that you're fighting in this particular case. However, Nemona did give us a Terra Orb, and it's been charged up since we left, so let's use it. Why don't you just act as a distraction, Arvin? I got this. Flamigo, it's your time to shine. For reference, by the way, my original plan for this, where we would have done a little more sequence breaking today, I was going to go get a Riolu from South Province Area 4 and bring it over here, because you can evolve it into a Lucario before you even get to this fight, and then just have it Aura Sphere this thing and one-hit KO it. It might still get one-hit KO'd because Shelter's Leer gives it a defense drop, so let's see. But I figured Flamigo was good enough, and yes, Flamigo was definitely good enough. That'll do. But yeah, Terra Fighting boost. We even got a Terra Fighting, which is not always something you get out of your Flamigo, because obviously it's got two types. If I went and got a Riolu, it would only ever have Terra Fighting, because Riolu's only Fighting type. It turns Steel type afterwards when it gets to Lucario, but yeah, while it's Riolu, you'd only have the Terra Fighting type. But either way, this Cloth is going down this turn. Thanks for the gift, Nemona. It actually already came in handy, because I just took down a 30-foot tall giant enemy crab by attacking its weak point for massive damage. There's the animation. You don't normally get to see that anymore, but you do still get to see it in the Titan battles, so at least there's that. Good work, Flamigo. So what was the point of doing that very early? Well, first of all, it gets that taken care of while Flamigo was still level 16, but as you can see, Callie is now at level 14, which will allow us to go and do a little bit of training. And I'll talk about that in a second. First, let's help Arvin with the spoils of our Titan battle. It wasn't that tough. We made a pretty good team there. You distracted it and got a little damage off yourself, and then I beat the ever-loving crap out of it. So, yeah, we should probably do that. I don't think I want to see this thing get gigantic again. It's actually a thing. If you come back to the locations where you fought the Titans, you can actually find them again. They're a fixed spawn in the world, but they're back to being tiny-sized again. So I guess the Pokemon were originally, the same size as every other version of their species, but they just grew gigantic abnormally quickly by eating those herbs. Like, they're not naturally that large anymore, unlike Alpha Pokemon, which just, in Arceus, which seem to be that big naturally. So, what'd you find, Arvin? Oh. There's still some left. It's just a little sprig, but it's big enough for the two of us, so. Alright, well, we found one. I guess that myth is not busted. That myth is true. This is the sweet one. I guess it looks sweet. Yeah, we made a good team, Arvin. It was the both of us. Okay, well, that sounds pretty good. Talking about someone else, or... Alright, cool. Let's see what Arvin's got. Do you want some help, or... I'm gonna guess that's a no, because you're already done. A badge? I thought the League were the only ones who could hand badges out. Oh, okay, it's like a badge replica. Fair enough. So yes, for defeating Titan Cloth, we get our first badge, the Stony Cliff Titan badge. It's a replica, but it will work. And for what it's worth, the sandwich was pretty sweet as well. Ah, right, I said sandwich. I guess we should have known you'd be out, huh? No, it comes out when it hears the word sandwich, actually. Hi again. You hungry? Arvin, you gave me his Pokeball, and for what it's worth, he did the lizard thing where he eyed something he wants with one eye, and then with the other eye. This is no longer mine. If I was to keep this, he would bite my hand off, so I was going to share anyway, but here you go. Just gobble the whole thing down in one bite, why don't you? Well, it's nicer to share food with people you like, so that even applies for Pokemon. Wait, really? You can't share yours? Okay, thanks. I looked at him, I gave him the puppy dog eyes. It seemed to work pretty good. Guess so. How you feel? Well, space-time indigestion. Or he just powered up. So yeah, Miraidon's abilities are linked to these Titan battles. By defeating the Titans and gaining Herba Mystica, Miraidon will gain a new hidden machine ability. You get it? Because they're Herba Mystica. HMs. So now you get HM1 dash. Cool. I guess so. I mean, if it's gonna do that for Miraidon, I can't imagine what it would do for the other Pokemon. Well, yeah, you're right about that, but are you sure you don't want to finish that sentence? This is the second time third time you've said something that sounds like there's something else going on there. Okay, here, I'll help. It's the least I could do. You sure? It's no trouble, really. Oh, you know, actually that makes sense. We can delegate our responsibilities if we do that. So, okay, you clean up. I'll start looking for the second Titan. Later, Arvin. You know, he's hiding something from me, but I guess I don't have time to think about it because I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Oh, hey, Professor. Yeah, I guess you would have tabs on Miraidon, wouldn't you, since you were managing it before? That's what I heard. I heard Rotom say something about that. What does that mean? Yeah, so if you tap in the left stick while riding on Miraidon now, you can dash ahead of you. And it essentially also acts like the headbutt TM did back in Gen 2, where if you run into a tree, you can actually knock the Pokemon that are up in the tree out of the tree so that you can battle them. So, Welcome back, Pad. Back, yellow, and blue. All of the above, so. And Mr. Game, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. How far am I into this? We just finished up the tutorial about an hour ago, and I just defeated the Stony Cliff Titan now. I am planning on ending the stream in just a few minutes, and then tomorrow we're going to come back and continue our adventures, although we have not fought any gyms yet. And there's a reason for that. Well, that's it really, honestly. That's the reason right there. The route's not fixed, but open before me. The game has leveled gyms and leveled challenges, but who's to say I have to follow that leveled curve, right? Well, that's the idea, Professor. Maybe I'll take that to heart and continue on my journey in my own way to make this playthrough a little more unique. Alright, but before we end the stream, the last thing that I want to do, we already got Knackley up to level 14, so that's the main thing. I want to get over here to Artazon West Pokemon Kiosk, because if I can get there, that's right around the point where the Pokemon that I'm looking for will spawn, and we could always use these Cloth for additional experience points as well. But, excuse me. Now that we have defeated Cloth, Flamigo's not particularly necessary anymore for the remainder of what we're going to be doing. Really, the main thing that we need to do from now on is we need to get Knackley up to level 20, because the next Titan is at level 20, and Knackley can handle that one herself, so that's the goal. Now, how do we do that? Well, I guess we could use these Murkrow. I'm surprised you guys are still out, considering the sun's starting to come up. Murkrow's cool, though. I like Murkrow. It's one of the cooler Pokemon. I don't really much like its evolution, Honchkrow, though, if I'm honest. I prefer Murkrow over Honchkrow. So. What starter? We picked Fuecoco, the goober. Yes. I couldn't not. It had to be Fuecoco. All I had to do was watch the intro cutscene, and it was like, okay, nope, I know what my choice is, so... Oh good, you lived. Now I can catch you. Perfect. Although, I guess I can show this. So the thing about Smackdown, first of all, it's an 100% accurate rock move. Second of all, as you heard there, Murkrow fell straight down. So now it should not have its flying typing, which means I can use Mud Shot on it. So if you want to use a ground type move, but a Pokemon is flying or has the Levitate ability, use Smackdown first, then use the ground type move. Not really necessary in this situation, but I guess it weakened it a little bit, so now maybe I can catch it in the Pokeball. We'll see. Advice, give Fuecoco a metronome. I have given Fuecoco an Everstone, actually, because evolving Fuecoco into anything above it would be evolving a perfect specimen, and that's a crime against humanity, so... I've given Fuecoco an Everstone because I'm not planning on evolving her. So... Well, that's devious, Murkrow. I think I like how devious that is. Welcome to the team. Maybe I'll use Murkrow for something. I'm trying to think what I could use it for, but I'm not sure yet. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Either way, let's get over to Artazon before it gets to be too long here. I think we're already at about 3 hours, so... let's see. Although, the metronome advice, I should mention this, the metronome advice is good advice, because later on in the game, if you evolve Fuecoco into its final evolution, it gets an exclusive move that basically becomes more powerful the more often you use it over and over again, because it's guaranteed to give a special attack boost, so... That is good advice. I shouldn't discount it, like I just probably did. It is good advice. I'm just not going to follow it personally, because I'm not going to be using Fuecoco on the final team, so... Because I'm not planning on evolving. Okay, game, stop chugging. You're almost there. Trust me, you're almost there. Slow your roll. I think if you go further down the hill here, you can get a Bulldoze TM as well, which would not be a terrible idea. I might come back and grab that at some point, because I think, if I remember correctly, the Pokemon that I want to catch later that's my, whatchamacallit. What, you want to fight? I wanted to fight you anyway, so if you want to fight, come on. If not, go away. What's, Oh, Callie's not out in front. Okay, let's get Callie out in front. This is what I wanted to fight, though. Out of any of the Pokemon around here, because this is another Pokemon that does not evolve, and it happens to have, in this form, a 4x weakness to rock. So let's show it off. I'm not going to get a surprise attack, but that's fine. Yes, you deleted the comment. Gotta go. Good luck. Alright, sounds like a plan, Pad. We'll be done in a couple of minutes anyway, so we'll see you on the next one. There's also Squawkabilly around here in large groups, and they're 2 times weak to rock, so you could always use any of these flying-type Pokemon to get some extra experience. But the reason why I wanted to do this before the stream was over is because my plan between today and tomorrow is to get Callie here up to level 20 using the Oricorio and Squawkabilly in the area around the Artazon Pokemon Center, because they give a lot of experience points for defeating them. So that's the plan. Oricorio is a questionable choice of a Pokemon. I don't know, I like Oricorio, I really enjoy its design, and let me think about that. Am I going to use one of them at some point? I should probably catch one of them, actually, because I'm planning on using it for something later on in the game. I have lots of plans for different Pokemon to kind of mix things up over the course of the playthrough. But, yeah, we'll see how it works out. Either way, there's a bunch of Oricorio around here and Squawkabilly, so either one would be worth fighting with a rock type in order to get to that level 20 that I want to get to. So that's the plan. I'll heal up right here, we'll call it a day, and we will, when we meet on the next episode of Pokemon Violet the Stream Edition, Nacli will be level 20, and we can move right along to the next challenge that I want to meet. Oh, I guess this is another one of the DLC tutorials, so there you go. It shouldn't take too long for me to get the experience we need, because these Oricorio give like 500 experience per fight, and as far as I remember, Nacli's in the medium-slow category, so probably between now and level 20 we need about 13 to 1400 experience. No, it might be a little more than that, actually. It's probably closer to 2000, but still, it should not take very long to get to where I want to get. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to check out the stream. I'll see all of you on the next one with the newfound power that Callie will have tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, everybody, take care and have a good one. We do get to see Cyclizar in its bike form. It's just a very static-looking object, but I guess at least we do get to... There is a model for it in the game. I wasn't sure, because after they had that cutscene pan the camera away from it when it turned into its bike form, I wasn't sure if it would or wouldn't. But here it is. Still can't ride on it, though. Miraidon's the only one you can ride on in this game. Still don't think I like that.